at that tree. It's shaking. Burger King.
What's shaking, kids?
Who's that?
Kids, meet Sir Shake-a-Lot.
Sir Shake-a-Lot's my name. Drinking shakes is my game.
When Shake-a-Lot's thirsty, he loves a good shake. It's so cold and frosty, it makes him quake.
Great shakes, Burger King.
With my shivery shakes, we'll have a ball. So I'll cover this table. Look, shakes for all.
Great shakes.
I love magic.
And I love shakes.
So, with my baton, we'll have some fun.
If you're making shakes, I'll order one.
It's a magic shake I'll make right here. When you sip a little, watch mine disappear.
That really shook me up, Burger King.
He's marvelous magical Burger King. He can do most anything. He loves magic and food and fun.
He's got shakes for everyone.
Burger King, yay!
Great shakes.
You can roll to your pal. It's chocolate covered caramel. Roll to your chums.
It's chewy and it's chocolate and it's lots of fun.
Rolo, chewy caramel and real milk chocolate all rolled together. Rolo.
You can roll to your friend.
It's chocolate covered caramel from end to end.
Thanks, Easter Bunny. Thank you, Easter Bunny. Thank you, Easter Bunny. Thanks, Easter Bunny. Thank you, Easter Bunny. Thanks, Easter Bunny.
All the world loves M&M's. They're pure milk chocolate joy in a candy shell for everyone.
M&M's chocolate candies. The milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
Thank you, Bunny.
Hey, what you eating? A neat candy bar. Boy, is it crispy. Sounds good. It smells peanutty. What do you call it? Whatchamacallit? Whatchamacallit? That's right. What's right? The name. What name? Whatchamacallit? You forgot the name?
Whatchamacallit, the totally different crunchy bar of peanutty tasting crisp drenched in chocolate. Whatchamacallit from Hershey. You can ask for it by name.
Can I have some of that? Some of what?
Hershey's Kisses presents The Frog and the Princess.
Ribbit. Next to a big kiss from a princess. Ribbit.
I like the big taste of chocolate in this little Hershey's Kiss. Ribbit.
For the big taste you can't resist, it's the big taste of chocolate in a little Hershey's Kiss.
Come, runners. No trouble. No matter what the odds are, you're always ready for a gum fight with Hubba Bubba. Cause soft, juicy, delicious Hubba Bubba lets you blow amazing, no-stick bubbles that won't stick to your face.
That's why they call them gum runners.
Big bubbles, no troubles.
Bubble gum.
Dagobah sure is strange. Now, R2-D2, be careful. Uh-oh.
Action figures each sold separately, like Luke Skywalker and new R2-D2 with sensor scope.
R2, come out of there right now. Help me locate Yoda with your sensor scope. You found someone, I'd say. Your search is over, Luke. Ben Kenobi and Yoda. Learns quickly, edition Jedi.
Yoda, new R2-D2, and other action figures each sold separately from Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection.
What do we have here?
It's Castle Grayskull. And it's mine.
Not so fast, Beastman.
He-Man!
You can pit He-Man against Beastman, playing for the power of Castle Grayskull. You have to put the castle together. Beastman's escaping.
What's wrong, Dad? Dad, you saved the castle.
Castle Grayskull from the Masters of the Universe collection. He-Man and Beastman, each sold separately from Mattel.
Look, sharks! Stealing our Super Sugar Crisp cereal!
Unfair. Get ready for Super Bear.
Super Bear, you're shark. Super Bear, I want that delicious cereal.
Take a dive, Shark Breath.
Yay! You saved our post Super Sugar Crisp, part of this nutritious breakfast.
A super cereal deserves a Super Bear.
I'm not ready to go yet, okay? I'm not ready. You gotta wait. I got shit to do. I'm in the middle of something, all right? Just hold on.
Watch your mouth or don't come in here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, people, come on, we're adults here. You know what? What is the point?
Yeah, we're adults here. I got a fucking Burger King fucking thing on my head. We're all fucking adults here, guys. People in my chat, 2 words. What are they? 2 words. Let me see the chat flood. Let me see the chat flood. 2 words. Okay. Next caller. Please. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which translate in American to dick and balls.
I got flip-flops. These are my flip-flops. Yeah, I really like my flip-flops because I can put them on. Because look, watch me put them on. I can put them on all by myself. Watch me put them on. Look, are you watching? Look, these are my flip-flops.
Thanksgiving Day. I remember it clearly. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was inserting myself in somebody else's fucking business as a cash grab, and you know.
This channel is harsh reality. Karen Yak se jodió la sucia vida. Amen.
This is Jonathan Lee Riches. I have cheeseburgers. I'm gonna put cheese on them. I'm gonna make sure that I have my hamburgers because I'm a big boy now and I can make the hamburgers. My mom lets me use the stove now.
And I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like they had evidence to back up everything they said. And I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like this can't. No, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like that's what made it even crazier. Like,
yeah, get it, Betty. Yeah,
did you have a close relationship with your mom?
Get it, Betty.
Oh, of course, I still do.
Yeah.
My older sister was kind of she was more of the prissy girl that likes going.
That is the best shit fucking
shopping for the dresses with mommy. I was the tomboy that liked playing with the people.
Shout out to Cherry for just being easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had. That someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot. And yes, I named him after Mr. T and Rocky. Say, woman. Say, woman. Say, woman. Since your old man ain't got no heart, why don't you come down to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this little dude. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. Oh, say bye. Say bye. Oh, I love you too. Give me a kiss. Oh, I love you. Bye, guys.
more than 30 pages in that search warrant application claiming that Karen Reed fed information about her case that was not available to the public to Aidan Kearney, the controversial blogger known as Turtle Boy. In the past, her lawyers saying publicly they hadn't spoken with Turtle Boy. The blogger saying the same. But these documents say that isn't the case and that they've been in touch for a while.
Karen Reed is with me.
Karen Reed's lawyers talking outside the courthouse after a hearing in 2022. Her lawyers by her side in court over the year plus since she was charged with murder in the death of her boyfriend, Boston cop John O'Keefe. Prosecutors say she hit him with her SUV outside a Canton home and left him for dead. But her lawyers say it's a cover-up, that O'Keefe was beaten inside the house and bitten by a dog. We love you, Aidan! That theory picking up steam after controversial blogger Aidan Kearney started talking about it on his blog and in videos, until he was jailed last month for witness intimidation. Now, a new search warrant application filed by state police says Reed was feeding information about her case, not meant for the public, to Kearney, who posted it on his blog. According to state police, Reed, her lawyers, and Kearney have publicly denied being in contact, but documents claim they'd been in touch for months, even meeting for lunch, saying Kearney texted a friend of Karen Reed saying, quote, "We had a great time." State police say Reed had used a friend to get Kearney unreleased documents, photos, and grand jury details, but say when that friendship went south, she started talking with the blogger directly, saying the two shared 189 phone calls, talking for more than 40 hours. Now, we reached out to Karen Reed's lawyers who say they're not commenting at this time. Live in Dedham, Emily Maha, WCBB News Center 5.
Emily.
Woo! My goodness, people. Things are getting a little wild. I mean, dude. There's a few things that have been brought to my attention about this this 31-page document. I believe it's 31 pages. Something more or less that amount. But now we're going to go over it because you guys know I like to do reactions. So I have not read this document yet, but we are going to read it. I have it here. I'm not going to show it on screen. I mean, I'll show that I have it here. But I don't think that it's redacted in any way. I don't think that, as you can see, I have it here. I'm going to read it. Looks like there's 34 pages. So I'm not going to show it as I'm reading. And as I'm reading, I won't really be able to see chat. If I see something pop up on my phone from the corner of my eye, I'll acknowledge it, but don't count on that because I don't. Well, I mean, I realize that it's public record, but even still, if you follow this channel for a while, I prefer not to show names that aren't necessary to show if I don't have to. It's just something I'm weird about. I just like to be safe, better safe than sorry, more than anything. So I like to be very careful about things like this. So now, so there's some clear discrepancies here between now I will show you this because this is the first thing because there's there's a big shocker here. Big shocker. When you look at the name of who applied for this search warrant, well, it's fascinating and very interesting. Because remember, this isn't a Karen Reed thing. This isn't a John O'Keefe murder investigation thing. Okay. Charlene Savoli, thank you so much. Bradel just released statement that they say is fire. Please read it to the class. Yeah, if I can get a hold of that, I will absolutely go over that. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for the super chat, Charlene. Appreciate it. So I mean, as you can see right there at the bottom, right above that last signature, that largest signature, right above it, you can see the name Brian Tully as the printed name of the applicant. So yeah, Tully. I mean, this shit just stinks to high heaven. And other things have been brought to my attention in regards to this document, and I'm I gotta say, I'm. It's still, nothing ceases to surprise me or shock me, honestly. And even though by now it should, because I'm still like, what? So, hold on, give me 1 second here. Okay. Oh, I can't see. Okay. I know Tom CPU just tried to send me the statement, copy and pasted, but when I get text messages via my burner phone that I have strictly for the show, it doesn't show the whole text message because it's a burner bullshit. But Cherry is on it, and she will retrieve that for me, and looks like she already has. So let's see here. Okay. Yep, we got it. Okay. So let me go ahead and I have Bradel's statement here. Thank you, Cherry. Appreciate it. Let's take a look. It says here the prosecution is doubling down on defective theories of witness intimidation that we are in the process of attacking at the SJC in Mr. Carney's case. Every freedom-loving citizen in the Commonwealth needs to hope and pray that the SJC finally takes up the matter and takes down the witness intimidation statute, the most odious intrusion on our rights since the Bill of Attainder or the Writs of Assistance. The only crime here is the robbery of privacy. Well said. We were all thinking it, and Tim Bradel, he has confirmed it. Because, yes, we are all thinking this. We are all absolutely thinking this. And I love, again, people, you guys know me, I love when lawyers validate my shit. I love it. I have said many, many times that the law used and weaponized, I should say, the law weaponized in order to now, okay, that's the second page. Give me 1 second, folks. So there's more to it. Thank you, guys. That's not the full. I got it, guys. Thank you. I love when lawyers validate my shit, man. I'm a big fan. I have said many times that the law being used to weaponize, being weaponized against Turtle Boy, the Canton Nine, is unconstitutional itself. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. So, statement from attorney Timothy J. Bradel for immediate release. I read the search warrant affidavit unsealed today in the Karen Reed matter. It appears to be a single-space 30-page story about how the state police went to unbelievable lengths. Yeah, they did. Taxpayer-funded trip to California to try to establish, drum roll, please. I actually don't have a drum roll sound effect. I need to get on that. That Aiden Carney and Karen Reed communicated with each other. It is an investigation without a crime. It appears to me that there is zero evidence that Karen Reed intended or had anything to do with any witness intimidation or interference, and rather is a woman fighting for her life as a target of a murder charge. She is entitled to wield inalienable rights. Now, I want to be, let's dissect Bradel's language here, folks, because he's being very careful in how he words things here. He's not saying that Karen Reed is innocent. He is saying that she is fighting for her life. And she is the target of a murder charge, which is absolutely 150% true. Now, it implies that she's innocent. It implies it. And if at this point, I mean, if you can't see what's going on here, then you got to be blind. You got to be blind. But let me go ahead and finish reading this here. She is entitled to wield inalienable rights under the First, Fourth, Fifth, and Sixth Amendments to defend herself. She also has a special right under our Massachusetts Constitution, which precedes and is the model for our U.S. Constitution in its Article 12, quote, to produce all proofs that may be favorable to her, to the defendant. This provision gives her broad rights and privileges to explore all avenues in her defense. A sacrosanct, I don't know that word, right to defend herself. She can share information with whomever she wants, speak out against her enemies, associate with anyone she pleases, and seek to keep it secret if she wants. It is chilling to read about law enforcement pouring through defense phone records and texts intended to be private and confidential, and then laying out these protected and legal actions as if they are elements of a crime in an effort to destroy her. The prosecution is doubling down on defective theories of witness intimidation that we are in the process of attacking at the SJC in Mr. Carney's case. Every freedom-loving citizen in the Commonwealth needs to hope and pray that the SJC finally takes up the matter and takes down the witness intimidation statute, which is unconstitutional. The most odious intrusion on our rights since the Bill of Attainder or the Writs of Assistance. The only crime here is the robbery of privacy, and that is absolutely perpetrated by Detective Tully and the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, overseen by Michael Morrissey. So, this is fucking gross. Okay? It's just plain gross. I for those of you who are doubting Bradel's abilities as an attorney simply because Turtle Boy is still in jail, please let that be evidence to you that he is doing everything that he can. Remember, Turtle Boy can walk out of jail at any given moment if he took a plea, but that would be an admission of guilt. And Turtle Boy and Timothy Bradel, his attorney, do not believe that he is guilty of a crime. So an admission of guilt would be a lie, and it would be giving in to the bullying that he is absolutely a victim of. He would be giving into the bullying of using a bullshit law to weaponize against him, and keep him from doing his job as an independent journalist and journalistic investigator. So yeah, I think Bradle's doing great. Honestly, I think he's doing everything that he can do, and the fact that he is being accused of crimes when he does not need to be, and is standing steadfast for his client, speaks volumes about his efforts and his abilities. So now, right, everywhere we go, we see Tully. What is going on? Why is Tully everywhere? I mean, it's fascinating to me. And someone asked earlier, someone before the live stream even started, someone was asking in chat, like, is it just me, or what the fuck's the problem between Karen Reed and Turtle Boy talking? Can't people talk to whoever the hell they want? Why can't they communicate with each other? What is the problem? And I agree. What you have to prove that there was a crime here. I mean, as far as any of us are concerned, if there was this communication taking place between Karen Reed and Turtle Boy, well, if there was this communication taking place, well, then it's somebody talking. It's a journalist talking to a source. Nothing more, nothing less. At this point, that's all that is. Anybody trying to make it more than that is jumping to insane conclusions without any evidence, just because these people are in contact with each other. And the fact is how is that somehow? Because again, this is not in some way trying to implicate Karen Reed in John O'Keefe's murder. This is an effort to implicate Turtle Boy on intimidation of witnesses more, and trying to implicate Karen Reed on Turtle Boy intimidating witnesses, and them colluding together, allegedly in intimidating witnesses, which I just don't see that happening. I just don't see Turtle Boy, and especially Karen Reed. She's fighting for her life, as Bradle put in the statement. She's fighting for her life. Why would she jeopardize her entire case? Everything that she's doing, paying through the nose for these very experienced and very high profile, case defense attorneys. Why would she take that money, piss it away, and risk it, and risk her freedom by playing dirty? Especially if she's trying to prove, and her defense team seems dedicated to proving that the prosecution is dirty. So it doesn't add up. It just doesn't seem to make sense. I'm not seeing it. This is crazy to me. Cherry, I can answer that. Why lie about talking? To protect his source. Simple. It's standard. It's standard. Why give this woman more of a headache than what she's dealing with? I understand Turtle Boy stating that he's never spoken to her if they have. I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, I mean, because the thing is, the bottom line is it's none of anybody's business. But at the same time, I mean, it doesn't matter. At the same time, it doesn't matter. Maybe Karen Reed doesn't want people to know publicly that she's speaking to him, and he's just trying to protect her privacy. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So I don't know what Clover's doing. Those are the other dogs going crazy. I think Clover's up there trying to like get involved. Now I'm going to go ahead and start reading this. As soon as I'm not distracted by all the insane noise that's going on upstairs. Sorry, that's 3 huskies and Panda, and Clubber trying to get involved in all that. Now, no, I'm not going to go check. I don't need to go check on them. So I'm gonna begin reading this here, and again, I'm not going to be able to see chat. I apologize, and let me see real quick. Okay. So Detective Lieutenant Brian Tully, badge number 3520. I, Detective Lieutenant Brian Tully, badge number 3520, am a Massachusetts State Police Officer and have been a police officer since 2006. We don't like you, Tully. You suck. Let's just get the let's get the booing out of the way. There we go. You're terrible. Fuck.
Ooh, you suck.
All right. I was assigned to the Norfolk State Police Detective Unit, where I have investigated and processed serious and violent crimes, including murder, suicides, sudden, suspicious, and unattended deaths, along with drug investigations. In 2019, I was promoted to the rank of sergeant and supervised homicide and violent crime investigations. In November 2021, I was promoted to the rank of detective lieutenant and appointed unit commander of the Norfolk State Police Detective Unit. I have participated in the execution of search warrants from which various types of evidence have been seized. I am trained in criminal investigation, including specifically homicides, death investigations, and crime scene investigation. Yeah, we see that. I have received specialized training and experience in the collection of physical evidence, crime scene processing, and the investigations of such cases. Just hearing him type those words out is so fucking infuriating, considering all we know about how that investigation was conducted, how the crime scene was preserved, and or I should say not preserved. I have received specialized training to obtain and analyze cellular telephone data and call detail records in support of criminal investigations. I have testified as an expert witness regarding cell phone technology, cell phone forensics, and their use in criminal investigations. In one such case, Commonwealth versus Wilkerson, the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court stated, I testified to my extensive training in applying CSLI records to criminal investigations. I have been an instructor for the Municipal Police Training Council on the topics of homicide, investigations, and criminal law. I have organized and hosted homicide conferences in Massachusetts and around the country. I have a Master of Arts degree in criminology from the University of Massachusetts. Lowell, and Bachelor of Arts degree in criminal justice, political science. Excuse me one second, guys. I have organized and hosted homicide conferences in Massachusetts and around the country. I have a Master of Arts degree in criminology from the University of Massachusetts, Lowell, Bachelor Art degree in criminal justice, blah, 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 blah. I already read that. Based upon information contained in the numbered paragraphs below, which are the product of my own investigation and my discussions with Massachusetts state troopers involved in the investigation, I submit that I have probable cause to believe that evidence of a violation of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 268, Section 13, there it is again, Section 13B, witness interference in violation of Massachusetts general laws, Chapter 274, Section 7, will be found, or conspiracy, will be found cell phones and or mobile digital devices used by Karen Read. This application for search warrant is to seize devices only as described below. On the morning of January 29th, 2022, John O'Keefe was found unresponsive on the front lawn of 34 Fairview Road, Canton, Massachusetts. He was transported to Good Samaritan Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner determined the cause of death to be blunt force to the head and hypothermia. Evidence was presented to the Norfolk grand jury that indicated the night of January 28th, 2022, Read and O'Keefe were at two Canton restaurants, C.F. McCarthy's and the Waterfall, where they met friends. After the Waterfall closed at shortly after midnight, Read and O'Keefe were invited to 34 Fairview Road, Canton. Witnesses stated Read and O'Keefe did not enter 34 Fairview Road. The Norfolk grand jury indicted Karen Read on second-degree murder, motor vehicle manslaughter, while OUI and leaving the scene of a motor vehicle crash causing death. The indictment alleges Read struck O'Keefe with her motor vehicle and left the scene. The case is currently pending in Norfolk Superior Court. The lead investigator for the above investigation is Trooper Michael Proctor of the Massachusetts State Police, assigned to the Norfolk State Police Detective Unit. Trooper Proctor testified before the grand jury and continues to conduct investigative work on the case. Michael Proctor is married to Elizabeth Proctor. Elizabeth is not a witness to the investigation, but a family member is mentioned in MGL 26813B. During the investigation into O'Keefe's death, witnesses were identified, interviewed, and testified before the grand jury. These civilian witnesses were present with John O'Keefe and Read in the hours leading up to O'Keefe's death and his discovery on January 29th, 2022. The witnesses include Matthew McCabe, interviewed by investigators. Matthew was with O'Keefe and Read at the Waterfall restaurant before O'Keefe's death, observed an SUV believed to be Read's in front of 34 Fairview Road, and testified at the grand jury. Jennifer McCabe, interviewed by investigators. Jennifer was with O'Keefe and Read at the Waterfall restaurant before O'Keefe's death, observed an SUV believed to be Read's in front of 34 Fairview Road, was with Read when O'Keefe was found unresponsive, and testified at the grand jury. Brian Albert, interviewed by investigators. Brian was with O'Keefe and Read at the Waterfall restaurant, homeowner of the 34 Fairview Road, and testified at the grand jury. Julie Albert, wife of Chris, interviewed by investigators. Julie was with O'Keefe and Read at the Waterfall restaurant before O'Keefe's death and testified at the grand jury. Julie Albert, wife of Chris, interviewed by investigators. Julie was with O'Keefe and Read at the Waterfall restaurant before O'Keefe's death and testified at the grand jury. Chris Albert, husband of Julie, was interviewed by investigators on February 10th, 2022. Chris was with Julie, with O'Keefe and Read at the Waterfall restaurant before O'Keefe's death and testified at the grand jury. I mean, I got to point that out. Like, why was Chris Albert, why was he not interviewed until February 10th? 1 second. Colin Albert, interviewed by investigators, son of Chris and Julie Albert. Juliana Nagel, interviewed by investigators. Juliana was present at 34 Fairview Road when people were arriving at the Waterfall, from the Waterfall restaurant, and observed an SUV believed to be Read's parked in front of 34 Fairview Road. In an April 2023 motion filed by Read's defense attorneys, defendant's motion for order pursuant to Massachusetts Criminal 17 directed to Brian Albert, Verizon, and AT&T alleged police misconduct and conspiracy among the civilians witnesses to frame Read for the death of John O'Keefe. The motion calls Brian Albert a suspect and Jennifer McCabe a conspirator who took calculated steps to purge her phone of this inculpatory evidence. A local blogger, Aidan Carney, has adopted defense claims. Carney runs a series of websites and social media accounts under the name Turtle Boy. The social media accounts include the Turtle Boy News, formerly Twitter, 33,800 followers. Aidan Carney, Dr. Turtle Boy, formerly Twitter, 50,000 followers. Turtle Boy Facebook, 37,000 followers. Turtle Boy Live, YouTube, 48,000 subscribers. Carney refers to his followers as Turtle Riders. Beginning on April 18th, 2023, Carney began posting articles to his website and social media accounts where he adopted the defense allegations as true and makes personal attacks on the civilian witnesses, members of their family, and their friends. Carney authors and publishes a blog on the website, turtleboydailynews.com. The website has a series of articles entitled Canton Cover-Up. As December 21st, at least 259 articles have been posted to the website under this category regarding Karen Read. Wow. Carney posts weekly videos to YouTube where he has discussed Karen Read and made statements regarding witnesses. Below are small selections of verbal statements made by Carney in these videos that have been published to followers and are publicly available for viewing without being a subscriber or follower and have been archived by investigators. And he states, he goes over some of these episodes. Chrissy Mel gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. H Bag, welcome. Jody 617, Colleen Egan, Lana Del Turtle. I think that's everything. Sorry about that, guys. Man, he is hyper. So basically it just lists, I'm not going to go over all of these. Well, yeah, I will, because he quotes them. But remember, as I quote these guys, I want you guys to keep in mind and remember that I went over all of these. I'm pretty sure these were just basically copied and pasted from his charging documents, in which I read and went over each one, each of these things, each of these details. Okay. All right. It's been a challenging day. Yeah. Hubbard is completely out of his mind today. Now, Let me go on. Now remember, guys, I went over every single one of these charging documents. I did 5 different live streams going over each one. And I basically disproved all of the claims. So as I read them, we're going to know that it's full of either embellishments or just flat out lies. So I'm going to go ahead and go over them, but I'm not going to go and reference each one. I've already done that. It states episode 594, Turtle Boy returns to Canton, where he allegedly states, "This is not my last trip to Canton. I will be back." Sorry, if you guys remember, this is how they're painting it out. Is he stated these things like this? "This is not my last trip to Canton. I'll be back. I'll be back. Get used to this." Very, very threatening. Very, very ominous and threatening. And then there's, all of these guys. This guy has head on his swivel looking for the Turtle Riders. I got bad news for you, Chris. I got really bad news for you. They are literally everywhere. You guys should stop going out in public. It's only going to get worse from here. And that's in all bold right there. Bold lettering. It's only going to get worse from here. I know where you all were today. You were in Agawam, weren't you? Blah, 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 blah. All right. I'm not going to go over every single one of these. And then it goes on to say, since April 2023, Carney traveled to Canton on several occasions. On one occasion, Carney went to D&E Pizza, 618 Washington Street, Canton, which is owned by Chris Albert. Chris Albert and his wife, Juliana Albert, were there or were with John O'Keefe and Karen Reed prior to the homicide. Chris has been interviewed by investigators. During the visit to D&E Pizza, Carney confronted Chris. Carney later stated on a video posted on YouTube for his followers to confront Chris Albert, order food from D&E Pizza with the intent of not paying for the food, and harass. Now, if you guys notice, this is very, very important. Keep in mind, there's no video title or timestamp for that. Very interesting that there's a video title and timestamp for all of these other accusations, but none for that. So YouTube first followers confront Chris Albert, order food for D&E Pizza with the intent of not paying for the food, and harass. Chris Albert stated he has had a vast increase in the number of telephone orders not picked up or paid for since Carney made those statements on the YouTube video. In July 2023, Carney posted a blog on his website regarding Chris Albert. The blog contains a video where Chris was confronted by a follower of Carney's outside a Canton restaurant, also referenced above in video, episode 598, breaking Karen Reed defense files motion to recuse. In a blog post, Carney writes, "Let's keep this up. I was so proud to see Turtle Riders unafraid confronting evil like this in the flesh. The fact that he's still going to places like the waterfall is because he feels comfortable doing so. But murderers and those who cover for them do not deserve to live a comfortable life while Karen Reed suffers and fights for justice for John O'Keefe." On June 13th, 2023, Carney broadcasted a live YouTube video, episode 590, which is currently posted on his YouTube page, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now all of this stuff, I'm going to skip through this, guys, because we know all this stuff. We've read all these things. All of this stuff can be referenced in Turtle Boy's charging documents. I don't need to go over every single one of them again. I've already done that. If you guys are new to the channel, I have a series of 5 live streams that I did in over a week that you can reference back yourself and you can watch those. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to find where I can. Thank you for the Cash App, Mike. I just happened to see that come through. Yeah, we know all the Carney stuff. What I want to get to is we already know about the road rally, all that stuff. We're all fully aware of that. So this is all about Turtle Boy, but I want to get to the Karen Reed phone stuff. Okay, so a check of the phone records from Carney's phone revealed communication with cell phones associated with David Yannetti and Alan Jackson. A phone number ending in 5359 was checked through LexisNexis, a commercially available database, and was associated with David Yannetti. The 5359 phone number communicates with Carney's two phones 29 times, including 9 times from April 20th to May 2nd. A phone number ending in 0555 was checked through LexisNexis and was associated with Alan Jackson. The 055 phone number communicates with Carney's two phones 29 times, including 3 times from April 20th to May 1st. Huh. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, I skipped a lot here. So let me go back here because I'm a little lost, because I'm looking at something here where I'm like, well, wait a minute. How do they know this about Turtle Boy's phone? Because as I understand it, Turtle Boy's phones and his tech were seized, but they did not get the clearance to be able to actually search the tech. The tech was seized, but they did not get they weren't allowed to search the tech, as far as I understand it. I remember Bradle saying that in front of the courthouse one time. Unless I'm mistaken. I could be wrong about that. So yeah, this is already how so let me get this straight, Tully. So you're violating someone's rights, and you're putting it in a probable cause for a search warrant application. You're putting it for a search warrant application to state probable cause for that search warrant. And what you're doing is showing you're showing that you basically violated the law and did it and performed an illegal search, and you're putting it. Wow. Okay. Good one, Tully. Now let's go back a little bit, because I skipped a bunch of stuff in regards to this case, but in regards to, because I thought it was all just stuff in regards to Turtle Boy's blogs and blah 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 blah. So here he says, okay, see, I want to get started on the Natalie stuff here. Okay, here we go. All right. So on October 17th, 2023, I interviewed Natalie at her workplace in Gardena, California. Natalie stated she attended. Wait, okay. Stop. Why did Tully interview her at her place of work in Gardena, California? That's what I want to know. Let me take a little reading break here. And let's explore that for a second. How is that standard procedure? Because I happen to know I've had to deal with cases, like personal cases, where I was in another part of the country and the case was the jurisdiction and focus on another city where I was not, and I could not travel to. So therefore, a telephone interview was conducted. So I happen to know that this is perfectly legal. If not a FaceTime or a Zoom or anything of that nature where you can state to the person, hey, I'm recording this. So I hope you know that this is being recorded, blah, 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 blah. This is all pretty standard. I know this can be done. I know for a fact that this can be done. Why would he travel? Why not just get a local police officer in Gardena to liaise and conduct the interview? And if you can't do that, like I said, I mean, why not conduct the interview via Zoom, via FaceTime? I don't understand why he would have to personally fly out to California unless it was to ensure that there was nobody else present or anybody else could state what was said. It's going to be his word no matter what. And why was he using taxpayer money? I mean, I would imagine he was using taxpayer money, Massachusetts taxpayer money, to go fly to California when it wasn't necessary to do that. I mean, she's a witness. Now, I understand flying to California because you're a bounty hunter. You know what I mean? I understand flying to California because you're a bail bondsman and somebody jumped bail and you're going to retrieve them. But a witness, a witness in a witness intimidation case, that doesn't make sense. So I mean, I doubt. See, here's the thing is let's speculate a little bit on what the purpose of that was. Why would Tully, let's first of all, if he's spending taxpayer money on a trip to California to interview this witness, it wasn't necessary. He could have absolutely done that via the phone, via Zoom, or via FaceTime, as I stated before. Why would he fly all the way to California for that? And secondly, if he spent his own money on this, right? Let's just say that Tully, it was so important to Tully that he would spend his own money on this trip to California to go interview this witness. Well, why is that so important? Why is it worth it to him to spend the airfare and allocations? Why is it so important to him to do that? Because I find that really, really suspicious. I think that's incredibly weird. Huh. Huh. So on October 17th, 2023, I interviewed Natalie at her workplace in Gardena, California. Natalie stated she attended Bentley University with Karen Reed from 1998 to 2002, all of which could have been said over the phone or via FaceTime. Natalie stated she was not close friends with Karen, but had friends in common. I mean, I can't get over this because, I mean, if Zoom is good enough for a court hearing, why not a witness interview? Following graduation, Natalie returned to California and lost touch with Karen. Following Karen's February 2022 arrest related to the death of John O'Keefe, Natalie contacted Karen to offer support and began a friendship. Natalie stated Karen openly shared her defense theories about the case, which Natalie stated she believed at the time. In April 2023, Natalie noticed a woman by the name of Jennifer Altman on social media who was defending Karen in comments of news reports regarding Karen's criminal case. Natalie stated she contacted Jennifer on Facebook in order to thank her for supporting Karen. Jennifer responded she has a friend, Aiden Carney, who runs a blog and would like to report on Karen's criminal case. During this text message conversation on April 13th, 2023, Natalie sent the following message to Jennifer. The feds are involved and described how people involved were going down. Natalie spoke to Karen about Carney. The following day, Karen told Natalie she would like Carney to report the case. On April 17th, 2023, Natalie was put into contact with Carney through Jennifer. Natalie exchanged messages with Carney and spoke with him on the phone about Karen's case. Shortly after Karen agreed to work with Carney, Karen instructed Natalie to download the messaging app Signal on her phone, which she did. Natalie was not familiar with Signal prior to Karen's request. Natalie's understanding of Signal was that it was a more confidential way to communicate, as the messages can be auto-deleted after reading. Natalie described the arrangement as follows. Karen would send Natalie a message on Signal intended for Carney. Natalie would copy and paste the message, photo, video document onto a text message to Carney. On several occasions, Natalie would take a screenshot of the Signal messages from Karen and send Carney the screenshot. Natalie stated she would send information on 2 phone numbers used by Carney. Natalie stated the content of the messages shared by Karen to her were Karen's defense of the charges, including information regarding witnesses, the home address of Trooper Michael Proctor, pictures of witnesses, autopsy photographs, motions filed by her attorneys, police reports, photographs taken by the Massachusetts State Police Crime Scene Services section, and feedback from Carney's blog posts, social media, and videos. This arrangement began on or about April 17th. A check of the text messages on Natalie's phone confirmed Natalie's statements. It appeared most of the messages sent by Natalie were authored by Karen. For example, messages would start with "Tell Turtle Boy" from Karen, or "Not for public, but you and Aiden can see." On April 22nd, 2023, Natalie messages Carney, "We are all very grateful to you." Carney responds, "It's my job. Glad to help." I'm still not seeing anything. I mean, I'm not seeing how this is somehow a conspiracy to intimidate witnesses. I'm not seeing that. Carney would frequently check with Karen through Natalie if he could use a piece of material sent to him in his blogs and videos, to which Karen would respond to what he could use. One example of material sent to Carney but not to be shared publicly is the 911 call reporting John O'Keefe's discovery on January 29th, 2022. The audio file was sent to Carney along with the message, "Do not share." Other examples include messages sent by Natalie to Carney. "Urgent, do not publish anything from the report on Julie Nagel, and make it clear he didn't just get it from us." In another exchange on May 6th, Carney text messaged 5 photographs that appeared to be pictures taken by CSSS of Karen's car, including the taillight. Carney then asks, "Can you walk me through what these are?" A later message from Natalie appears to be in response to the pictures. "Can you ask him if he can get these photos from the court? I'm just not positive they are public." Carney responded, "And how did she get them?" Natalie responded, "They're in discovery, but I'm not sure they're public. I am the accused, Aiden." Carney later attempts to confirm he cannot talk about the photos on his show that night, to which Natalie responded, "Don't talk about these on the show tonight." On April 29th, Carney asks if he could talk about or use different material on his YouTube show. Natalie, acting as an intermediary with Karen, responds to Carney, "Make it clear he didn't just get it from us, but don't show the exhibits, just read them, and please tell him not to share the title. It has Yannetti's initials in it, DRY, referencing David R. Yannetti." In mid-May, Carney sent Natalie a picture of himself wearing a T-shirt depicting a Google search bar with the phrase, "House long to die in cold," a reference to a piece of evidence in Commonwealth versus Reed. Natalie responded that she will ask Karen if he can wear it in court. Natalie later tells Carney it's okay to wear the T-shirts, "How long to die in cold." "I got the okay," Carney responded. "Really? And you asked Alan?" And apparent reference to one of Carney's attorneys, Alan Jackson. Natalie responds, she replied, absolutely. Carney was seen wearing the shirt at the July 25th court date as shown in pictures above. Over the course of the text message conversations, Natalie forwards personal information and pictures of many of the named witnesses above, including Jennifer McCabe, Chris Albert, and Colin Albert. In one part of the conversation, Carney wrote, anything else I should talk about that I haven't hit on in blogs yet? Feel like I'm out of new material. Natalie stated a second person was acting as an intermediary between Karen and Carney, John Silvera. The statement is corroborated in several text messages between Natalie and Karen. One message from Natalie to Carney, again, apparently authored by Karen, reads, he's confused. John sent a report beginning with the 12, and it was about Julie Nagel, nothing to do with GJ testimony on Colin. Carney's next text message is, I won't use any GJ testimony. The formatting is obvious, different from the police reports. Several additional messages state, check your email, suggesting documents were sent to Carney outside of the text messages. On several occasions, Carney questions Karen's defense theories. In one such case, on April 3rd, 2023, Carney does not understand how Karen knows Colin Albert was at 34 Fairview Road when John O'Keefe arrived. Carney sends the messages. Hey, need to talk to you ASAP, and it's really important for me to know how we know Colin was in the house. Natalie sends the message, and Turtle Boy can't say the defense had a source that Colin was there. It's important for us and Turtle Boy, Carney responded. Need to talk, emergency. And, well, I'm starting to lose confidence Colin was in that house, and I'm freaking out. Natalie sent the message. Brian and Nicole and Chris and Julie all testified he was there. But I can't send GJ testimony because it's sealed. GJ meaning grand jury, obviously, if you guys don't know. Carney continued to ask questions. Natalie replied, she's signaling you and check your signal. Carney asks who, and Natalie replied, her. In a similar exchange on May 7th, Carney wrote, not going to lie, this is getting old. I don't like the riddle, but the clues together stuff, this isn't a board game. By now, she knows that I can be trusted. What you told me means that the 227 Google search makes no sense. During the interview, Natalie discussed a May 3rd court date. Okay, hold on. Let me read that again. During the interview, Natalie discussed a May 3rd court date for Karen's criminal case. Carney requested for someone to save him a seat in the courtroom. Karen arranged a seat for Carney. On April 23rd, Carney sent the message to Natalie, I'm excited and honored that her parents would want to sit next to me in court. The seat arrangement is described in a May 2nd message sent by Natalie, acting as an intermediary. I've tried to coordinate Turtle Boy and John and Donnie. My parents have a full row with their lawyer. My brother Ingrid, he could sit right behind them. Natalie recalled Carney being invited to have lunch with Karen and her defense attorneys, including Alan Jackson and David Yannetti, after the May 3rd, 2023 court date. A check of the phone revealed one of the first text messages to Carney. Natalie stated Karen and her team will likely be convening at the Omni Seaport after the May 3rd hearing. Carney responded, I'd be happy to meet up with them. On April 28th, Natalie sent Carney the message. Turtle can meet with Alan on Tuesday, May 3rd. Perhaps, question mark. Natalie stated she spoke with Carney following the May 3rd court hearing. Carney stated he was nervous to attend lunch with Karen and her attorneys as he would feel out of place. Natalie reassured Carney he was welcome and stated it was a good opportunity for him. Carney agreed and stated he was going to attend the lunch. Carney sent Natalie a text message at 6:28 p.m. stating, "We had a great time." Natalie would later mention Carney having a nice time at the lunch. It should be noted that all times Natalie was in California, did not attend any Reed court dates, and was relaying messages from Karen to Carney. Now, okay. Now, I keep seeing, let me keep my place here. I keep seeing, or I keep hearing through the grapevine, more or less, that it's somehow suspicious that they and the fact that that Turtle Boy attended a lunch with Karen and her attorneys, supposedly, that this is somehow proof that they were colluding to intimidate witnesses, because that's what this search warrant's all about, right? Ken Mello had her phone seized, had Tully apply for this search warrant, and had her phone seized. And the whole point, right? Oh no, not a lunch. And the whole point, right? The whole point of this is to prove that they were colluding and conspiring to intimidate witnesses, to systematically, to premeditatedly, that's not a word, but intimidate witnesses, right? To plan and execute intimidation of witnesses, correct? Now, there's that line there where Natalie assures Turtle Boy, because Turtle Boy's like, I don't know, I'll feel kind of out of place, right? I'll feel a little out of place there. I don't know, I'm not sure about this. And I know how that feels. You know, Turtle Boy's feeling like, holy shit, you know, like this shit just got real. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about this case. I'm blogging about it. I'm the only one writing on this, and I'm the only person who seems to be writing in favor of Karen Reed's innocence. So, you know, he's like, shit, you know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I feel right, you know, not out of guilt, but just, I mean, kind of a fifth wheel type thing. Like, what do I have to bring to the table? I don't understand. But to me, I mean, when I hear Natalie say something like, it would be a good opportunity for you, well, then it sounds like it's based on there's a professional nature to it. That's what that indicates to me. It sounds to me like it is that Natalie is establishing that this meeting is of a professional nature, meaning that things that are going to be said could be on or off the record. Could be that they're just thanking him. Hey, we want to throw a burger down your throat, bro, and we want to just say thank you for all of the kind words that you've been writing. What's wrong with that? And if it's a good opportunity, well, then it sure as hell seems as though it's of a professional nature. He's a journalist, right? Maybe they're establishing something. You know, like maybe there's a documentary in the works for Karen Reed, or a book deal, or something to that effect, when they know that they're going to get this case thrown out. Because again, people, I think we all agree that you are never going to get 12 jurors to convict Karen Reed based on how this investigation was conducted. So it's quite possible that they were sitting around stating what could happen later on. I can't give you anything on the record right now. I can't give you anything that you can print right now. But stick with me, stick with us, continue doing what you're doing, and there will be opportunities down the road for you. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying how are you getting that they colluded to witness intimidation, to intimidate witnesses? How are you jumping to this conclusion based on that? What, because you charged Turtle Boy with witness intimidation, even though we know those charges are bullshit? Because we've already gone over all of that. We've already gone over all of it. So we know that those charges are bullshit. So this just indicates to me that Bradel is right. It's just another attempt to double down. It's bullshit. It's a witch hunt. A pure, classic witch hunt. Makes no sense. So, I mean, what I don't, we have no idea what the nature of that is. So far, I'm not seeing anything stated by Tully himself based on his own investigation that he decided to take it upon himself to travel to the other side of the country. He's on literally one edge of the country, on the east side of the country, traveling all the way to the west side of the country. I mean, and so far, I'm not seeing anything that actually even indicates these people colluding to intimidate witnesses. I'm not seeing anything that says this. Again, if he's stating that he never spoke to her, maybe they just didn't want it public that they were speaking. Karen has the right to her privacy. If Karen sat there and probably told them in person at this lunch, hey, don't tell anybody that we've been speaking, please. I don't need any more bullshit. I'm going through enough. I mean, that's enough to get me to lie. Straight up. That's enough to get me to lie. That's enough to get me to go, you know what? No, never spoke to her. At least publicly. That doesn't mean I'm going to lie to a police officer. That doesn't mean that I'm going to, I mean, if I'm in that position, I'm going to be like, talk to my lawyer. You know what I mean? If the cops are asking me, did you speak to Karen Reed? I'm going to be like, talk to my lawyer. And I'm going to look at Bradel and be like, should I answer that? And if my lawyer says to answer it, then I'll answer it. But otherwise, it's nobody's fucking business. So if they met up and there's that not just a possibility, but a likelihood that Karen Reed was like, listen, I just don't want the whole world knowing that we are in contact with each other, because who knows what kind of bullshit they're going to spin. We're talking about a dirty ass district attorney's office. We're talking about a dirty ass Massachusetts State Police agency. So, I mean, who knows what they'll say with that, what they'll try to do with that information. Who knows? Right? So, I mean, at that point, so if Karen Reed, if I'm in contact, if I'm in direct contact with Karen Reed behind the scenes doing this show, and Karen Reed tells me, hey, I don't need anybody knowing that we're talking, I'm going to be like, you got it. No problem. And I'm going to tell all of you whatever I need to tell you in order to protect her privacy. Lisa Oaks, thank you so much. It is exactly a witch hunt. Mello is trying everything he possibly can to get away with. Thanks for the show, Glitter. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. I mean, I'm just not seeing. The whole point here is, if they got a search warrant and the probable cause is that there is, the probable cause is that they believe that they are colluding and conspiring to intimidate witnesses together, and Karen Reed is involved in witness intimidation. So far, I'm not seeing one fucking indication of it. Two people talking does not equate a conspiracy. Two people talking in order to plan something nefarious equates a conspiracy, sure, but there's nothing there so far that indicates that what they're doing is somehow nefarious and of a nefarious nature. So on May 6th, Carney texts Natalie, "Can I see the hairs?" She showed me in person. Natalie then sent Carney 2 pictures of what appears to be a hair next to a measuring tape often used by CSSS when documenting evidence. Natalie then sent the message, supposedly the same hair. These photographs are not part of any public filings. A check of the text messages from Natalie's phone reveals several instances where it appears Carney communicated directly with attorneys Alan Jackson and David Yannetti. The first being on April 22nd, 2023. Natalie sends Carney a message. "Did you talk to AJ today?" Meaning Alan Jackson. And Carney responded, "Just saw his text. Gonna call him in a bit." Okay, so on May 2nd, Natalie sent Carney the message, "Colin has a lawyer. Ask Yannetti about it." On May 5th, Natalie sent Carney the message, "Tell Turtle Boy from me, be strong, Aiden. Get down for a day, but wake up and keep fighting tomorrow. Please call Alan and spitball your issues with him if you want to. And nothing gives you a shot in the arm like talking with AJ." Natalie later asked, "Did you call him?" And Carney replies, "Just did." On several occasions, the nature of the relationship between Karen and her defense attorneys and Carney is discussed. In one such exchange on May 7th, Carney stated he disagrees with Alan Jackson's theory of when O'Keefe was allegedly moved to the front lawn. Carney wrote, "Keep in mind, Karen, AJ, and myself don't officially talk." Thank you for the super sticker, James Henderson. It would be normal for me to have opinions that are different from the defense. Although we all agree that Karen had nothing to do with it, I made it clear that my theory of how he died is simply that, a theory. If there's more information I haven't been given that can prove my theory is wrong, I'm all ears. So Natalie responds, "I hear you, Aiden. It's good to not be completely in sync. We are open to other theories." In public settings, Carney and the attorneys for Karen Reed have denied communicating or mischaracterizing the nature of their communication. On December 27, 2023, Boston Magazine published an article about the homicide of John O'Keefe and Karen Reed's defense. For that article, the author interviewed Karen, her attorneys, and Aiden Carney. The article describes Carney's involvement in the case from April through the July 25th court date. After describing how the author interviewed Carney at his residence, the article states both Carney and Reed defense teams say they have never been in contact with one another. On October 20th, 2023, a Twitter account associated with David Yannetti posted a response to another post alleging Yannetti tipped off Carney about the story. The post in the part reads, "He and I never communicated until after his first piece on the Karen Reed case." Again, I don't see, he admits that they communicated and it was after I don't see how that's a lie. I observed text messages between Natalie and Carney containing decisions about an investigation being conducted by the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office. On one such occasion, I am dyslexic. On one such occasion, in an April 23rd message sent to Natalie to Carney, not public, the feds have been involved longer than anyone is likely guessing. On April 28th, Natalie sends Carney the following message: "But I don't understand why he doesn't mention more that the feds are involved. The first assistant U.S. attorney, they don't shoot and miss. They have a case and way more evidence than we do. I know this for a fact. Jen McCabe testifies this coming week. I'm not sure about the others." Carney responds later on April 28th, "Has there been any new information about the FBI investigation and handing out subpoenas?" Natalie responded, "No new info, just that they are already present. The case, they already present the case, the grand jury as we speak. And the DA's office has been informed. That is confirmed 1,000%. Okay. Okay, so this is starting to smell like what this is really about. Norfolk DA's office was notified by the Boston U.S. Attorney's Office that witnesses involved in Commonwealth versus Reed were served with subpoenas for a federal grand jury. In later exchange, Natalie wrote to Carney, bingo, was in reference that you go, the names of the U.S. attorneys correct, and Carney responded, oh, she spoke to David, I'm guessing. On May 5th, Carney stated he heard a rumor 20 FBI agents were seen in Canton for possible arrest. 2 days later, Natalie sent Carney a message that contained in part not public. Levy confirms no swarms of FBI were in Canton 2 days ago. The reference to Levy is most likely United States Attorney for the District of Massachusetts, First Assistant U.S. Attorney Joshua Levy. In a subsequent conversation, Natalie sent Carney a picture of what appears to be an organizational chart of the U.S. Attorney's Office with the position of First Assistant U.S. Attorney circled in yellow. Natalie then sent this message, no rush, but you can tell him Josh Levy is the first assistant. There's only one first assistant, and he doesn't typically prosecute. Like he never prosecutes. He just delegates to the assistants within the division. But he's running this grand jury. At the May 3rd Norfolk Superior Court date, while in open court before Judge Canone and television cameras, attorney Alan Jackson reported federal authorities have now gotten involved in circumstances surrounding this case and have impaled a grand jury to investigate some of these circumstances. A federal grand jury to investigate some of these circumstances. Following the court hearing, Alan Jackson, David Yannetti, and Karen Reed spoke to the media on the front steps of Norfolk Superior Court. The Commonwealth later filed a motion requesting Reed's defense attorneys refrain from making extrajudicial statements. On July 25th, 2023, attorney David Yannetti filed a motion in Norfolk Superior Court entitled Defendant Karen Reed's Opposition to Commonwealth's motion to prohibit prejudicial extrajudicial statements of counsel in compliance with Massachusetts rules of professional conduct. Attorney Yannetti addressed Attorney Jackson's statement regarding the federal grand jury. The Commonwealth's characterization of statements made by defense counsel, specifically those attributed to Alan Jackson, is misleading, lacks context, and is outright deceptive. Critically, the Commonwealth's effort to cast Attorney Jackson's statements in the most nefarious light possible omitted the prefatory clause preceding this statement. What Attorney Jackson said prior to his statement was, it's been reported that at the time the statement was made, it had indeed been publicly reported that a federal grand jury had been impaneled. There is a marked difference between stating that something has been reported and revealing something that was previously unknown to anyone. This statement was not the defense revealing publicly that federal grand jury had been impaneled, something about which the defense team would have no knowledge. This was Miss Reed's counsel reiterating what had already been publicly reported. Yeah, sorry. I've got Clubber in the other room. He is unbelievably hyper, and I cannot have him wrecking my studio while I'm trying to read this. But it is incredibly distracting to hear him barking because he does not want to be alone right now. And I feel bad, and I want to have him in here, but he is lit up. So I can't do it. So right now I'm just trying to balance. I'm trying to balance managing this right now. So it is proving exceedingly difficult. I know I love Clubber too, but I cannot have Clubber running around wrecking my studio while I'm trying to get this done. So now what I'm finding interesting, because there's a lot of meat here, right? There's a lot of meat here in regards to this federal investigation. I mean, why are they so interested in this? Again, I'm not seeing anything about intimidating witnesses. And I'm also seeing that I'm also seeing that there is an intermediary, a person who is sending messages between Turtle Boy and Karen Reed, right? The person said this person is not stating anything about that even constitutes witness intimidation. This seems like a fishing expedition to find out what they actually know about this federal grand jury. This seems like a fishing expedition to find out what they need to be afraid of. Because obviously there are people involved who are under the radar of the Department of Justice. So I'm not, and it's like Tully can't even hide this. If what's his name, Mello, is over here trying to establish witness intimidation, why this search warrant? How is this search warrant so far giving probable cause to seize Karen Reed's phones? Because the accusation is something to the effect of witness intimidation, right? Conspiracy to commit witness intimidation, right? That's what they're trying to prove. They're trying to implicate Karen Reed in Turtle Boy's witness intimidation. So I'm calling absolute bullshit. Because it's funny, like, tell me you're fucking scared as shit of the feds without telling me that you're scared as shit of the feds. Because all of this is all about the federal grand jury. None of this, I mean, well, right. And I want to know why a judge signed off on this. Now, we haven't finished it, in all fairness. I'm just saying what I'm reading so far does not indicate in any way, shape, or form anything that constitutes witness intimidation. Oh, stop. Don't feel so bad for Clover, because he is by my side 24/7 unless I'm in the shower. And guess what? He's standing there outside of the shower waiting for me to get out. He is with me 24/7. He is just used to that. And because he doesn't have that right now, he is having a little temper tantrum. So don't feel so bad for him. He'll be okay. Who gives a shit that JLR just hit 125,000 subs? Of course he did. He's standing there like he found the perfect content. He's standing there at the border waiting for something to pop off. I mean, you got a country full of pissed off people who think that civil war is about to break out. I mean, of course. Oh man, 20 memberships. Let's see. Erica Madden, thank you so much. Congrats to Katie J, Jeff, Carrie, Max, Tammy Holcomb. Oh, I'm glad you got a membership, Tammy. Robin McGowan, Hills Bills, and thank you for the Cash App, Ann. I just got that notification. Ruby Chase, Phoenix Fire, Beck, Gigi Gregory, Tanny, Froggy Smiles, Pretty Eye, Jimmy James, Bathtub Mary, Jessica Neff, Donovan, 9054 Omen, LKJ. I think that's it. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Erica Madden. I really do. That was incredibly generous. Thank you so much. Grandmaster said so fast. Okay. All right. You got it. You asked for it, you got it.
I think we got a super chat. Super chat. I think we got a super chat. Super chat. Super chat. Super chat. I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat.
Sully, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah, let's continue this because this is I mean, again, we haven't finished reading it, so I'm still waiting to see where it says that. I mean, does anybody here really give a fuck that Karen Reed and Turtle Boy had lunch? I mean, okay. I mean, okay. So, like, I mean, it makes no sense. Grandmaster, no, you the man. Appreciate it, buddy. Let's continue. Let's see. The first sentence. So the asterisk above represents footnote number 37 of the motion, which cites a Turtle Boy News article that reported the federal grand jury investigation. Multiple witnesses in home where John O'Keefe was killed, subpoenaed by federal grand jury. FBI visits home, basement floor reportedly replaced. Dated April. You hear how he barks every time he hears me talking? He just wants daddy. That's all. I feel really bad. The first sentence of that Turtle Boy article reads, breaking news. According to reliable sources close to the matter, a federal grand jury has subpoenaed multiple witnesses who were in the home of Boston police officer Brian Albert the night fellow Boston police officer John O'Keefe was killed. Karen, through Natalie, sent Carney information regarding the federal investigation in real time beginning in April. Again, this is all showing me that that's what this is all about. It is reasonable to assume, since Natalie told Jennifer Altman, a friend of Carney, on April 14th that federal law enforcement was involved, and Natalie began communicating with Carney on April 17th, 2023, that Karen or someone from her defense team provided the initial and subsequent information to Carney regarding the federal grand jury. No evidence exists that Carney is employed by either attorney, nor is he a client of either attorney. Okay? Right. Okay? On an August 29th, 2023 YouTube video, Carney denies ever having spoken to Karen Reed. That's what I thought. He described how a follower of his blog connected him with a friend of Karen Reed's, which is where he receives his information. I mean, that's not really a lie. You know? He did have that intermediary. He was speaking to Natalie, not Karen. So it's not really a lie. But again, why does it matter that he lied to his audience? If it was under Karen Reed, if Karen Reed requested, hey, don't tell people that we talk, okay, then that's what I'm going to do. As I stated before, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, I'm going to straight up, I'm either going to say none of your fucking business if you ask me, or I'm going to be like, no. You think I feel guilty about lying to I mean, right now I got 1,200 people watching, right? You think I feel guilty if I was talking to Karen Reed behind the scenes and she asked me, hey, don't tell anybody that we're talking. You think I'd feel bad telling all 1,200 of you none of your fucking business? Or no? If somebody asked me in the chat, are you talking to Karen Reed? And I went, no. You think I'm going to fucking feel bad about that? I can't be arrested for that shit. I can't be charged with a crime for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, insane. Like, why is he acting like that's evidence somehow? Oh my God. Carney denies having ever spoken to Karen Reed. He describes how a follower of his blog connected him with the friend of Karen Reed's, which is where he receives his information. Okay. He described the relationship with Karen's friend as follows. That's what journalists do. They talk to sources. Right. Okay. Karen Reed is allowed to have friends and they're allowed to talk to me. That doesn't mean I'm communicating with her or her lawyers. It doesn't. But even if he was, who cares? I tried friend requesting Karen Reed and it came back rejected. This was what I was talking about when I was like, I could have sworn I heard Turtle Boy on one of his videos say that he denied talking to Karen Reed. I could have sworn, and this is all sounding familiar. This is what I was watching. Karen Reed, and it came back rejected. He tried to friend request her and it came back rejected. But she's not stupid, clearly. I've asked her friend, obviously asked, can I talk to Karen Reed? Can I talk to her? And the answer is no. So what am I going to do? On October 30th, 2023, Carney appeared on a live YouTube show called New Bedford Live. At the 37 mark, Carney is asked if he has ever met Karen Reed. Carney responded, I've seen her in court. I've met her family. I talk to them, not every day or anything like that, but I've had many pleasant conversations with them. But Karen likes to keep a distance, I think, between herself and me simply because they're after her. For one thing, they're after her. And number two, it's just, affects my professional reputation if she's my BFF or something like that. But I fully support her. I think after all this is over, and I think after all this is all over, her and I will be friends. But for now, it's all about business. Okay? Several text exchanges suggest Carney and Karen communicated directly without Natalie acting as an intermediary. These messages are in addition to the previously mentioned messages asking Carney to check his Signal. Natalie stated she never communicated with Carney on the Signal app, and those text messages were informing Carney that Karen was sending him messages directly on the Signal app. One exchange on May 6th involves Carney disbelieving a portion of Karen's defense and is frustrated. He texted Natalie that he tried calling her, meaning Karen. Natalie asks 15 minutes later, are you guys on the phone now? And Carney responds, yes. And 45 minutes later, we're still talking. Natalie stated she believed Carney and Reed spoke on the phone at length during this time. And in another such exchange on May 19th, Carney and Natalie are exchanging messages about whether Carney should write about certain topic. Natalie sent the message, let me run it by her. My bet is she says yes. The next message sent by Natalie, acting as an intermediary for Karen, is as follows. Yeah, he already asked me, but it's his call. Karen Reed has been interviewed by other media outlets such as including ABC's Nightline and NBC's Dateline. She was interviewed by a reporter from Boston Magazine. She has not acknowledged speaking with Carney. Furthermore, she took steps to provide Carney non-public information, which appearing to be distant, including using an intermediary controlling what he can publish publicly and using a messaging application outside of traditional text messaging. Okay, meaning what he can say publicly and what he can't, meaning on the record and off the record. Totally within a journalist's rights. Following a falling out between Natalie and Karen in June 2023, this is where it gets interesting, I would imagine, the text message frequently dramatically dropped. Natalie was no longer sending Carney information related to the homicide after mid-June. On June 23, Natalie asked Carney to talk to Karen about her being mad at Natalie. Carney responded that he does not want to play mediator and be in the middle, which would be another insinuation Carney and Karen communicate directly. So what? A special prosecutor convened a grand jury to investigate the intimidation of witnesses involved in Commonwealth versus Reed. Okay, here we go. A grand jury summons was issued to Verizon requesting call detail records of 2 of Carney's phone numbers. And the subscriber for those accounts is Aidan Carney. A check of those records revealed 189 phone calls between these phone numbers and the phone number Natalie provided to investigators for Karen Reed. The duration of phone calls between Carney and Reed totaled an excess of 40 hours. These conversations is in addition to the communication Reed and Carney allegedly have on the Signal app. The first entry to communication between Carney and Reed is May 7th, 2023. The frequency and duration of the calls increased greatly beginning in the end of June. The communication continued through the fall of winter of 2023, with the last entry of those phone communicating occurring on December 21st, 2023. A check of those phone records from Carney's phone revealed a communication with cell phones associated with David Yannetti and Alan Jackson. A phone number ending in blah, blah, blah was checked through LexisNexis in commercially available database and was associated with David Yannetti. The 5359 phone number communicates with Carney's two phones 29 times, including 9 times from April 20th to May 2nd. A phone number ending in 0555 was checked through LexisNexis and associated with Alan Jackson. The 0555 phone number communicates with Carney's two phones 29 times, including 3 times from April 20th to May 1st. So what? See, this is what this is what's bugging the shit out of me, dude. So, I mean, since when? So I guess we should have locked up Woodward and Bernstein over Watergate because of their communication with Deep Throat, right? I mean, clearly, we should have fucking locked up Woodward and Bernstein, right? I mean, for communicating, I mean, for having a source. I mean, let's get real, dude. I mean, I think it was revealed who Deep Throat turned out to be later on. I don't even fucking know who he was. I don't even really know enough about Watergate. But I'm saying, like, the point being is, how is it illegal and how is it suspicious in any way, shape, or form that Karen Reed's attorneys would have a direct line to someone who is constantly writing stories about the high profile case that they are directly involved in and handling? Since when? Since when is that considered suspicious? Since when is it considered suspicious that attorneys have a direct line with a journalist that gives, those are called, I think they're called, I don't know, fucking exclusives. That's an exclusive. When somebody has a story and they're only giving information and they're only communicating directly with one particular journalist, that journalist is exclusive. They're giving an exclusive to that one journalist. That's what the exclusive means. It means it's only that journalist. That's it. That is not illegal. It's not even unethical. Makes no sense. Oh, shit. Hold on one second. I bet you my coffee got cold. I'm so pissed. Give me 1 second. Okay. So on October 10th, 2023, Aidan Carney was arrested pursuant to several arrest warrants issued out of Stoughton District Court. He was arraigned in Stoughton District Court on the same date, which was widely reported by local media. On October 12th, 2023, Natalie received a call on her cell phone, which is the main office phone number for Worksman, Jackson, and Quinn, the California law firm of Alan Jackson. Natalie stated she did not answer the call, nor did she return the call. She stated she had never spoken to Alan Jackson, David Yannetti, or any other attorney representing Karen in the Commonwealth versus Reed prior to October 12th or since. On December 20th, 2023, the Norfolk grand jury returned indictments charging Aidan Carney with 9 counts of intimidation of a witness, 5 counts of illegal picketing of a witness, and 3 counts of conspiracy to intimidate a witness. In December 2023, I communicated and interviewed a witness relative to ongoing conspiracy to intimidate witnesses of the Commonwealth versus Reed case. I interviewed her at her residence with another investigator. Given widespread media attention and ongoing intimidation of witness involved in the case, this witness will be referred to as the pseudonym Jane. The purpose of using a pseudonym in this affidavit is to prevent the public disclosure of her name at this point of the investigation. During the in-person meeting, Jane relayed the following information. Jane stated she met Aiden Carney in September 2023 after exchanging messages on Facebook Messenger. Jane stated she would communicate with 2 of Carney's Facebook profiles. Jane states she then began communicating with him using the phone number, blah, blah, blah. Carney and Jane met in person following a Commonwealth versus Reed court date and went to her apartment. After that meeting, Jane and Carney began having a romantic relationship, with Carney staying over at her apartment Friday nights. In the beginning of their relationship, Carney stated he was close with Karen Reed's family. He would later state to Jane that he speaks with Karen Reed every day. Jane showed me a screenshot that Carney allegedly sent her showing multiple calls on a certain day that showed Karen Reed signal audio in the call log. Carney told Jane that there was an intermediary between Carney and Reed, a woman by the name of Natalie. Carney stated Natalie and Reed were angry with each other. Carney stated to Jane that he then began talking to Reed directly. Again, we're now seeing exactly what this is about. Jane stated Carney and Reed communicate using the Signal app because it's encrypted. Jane stated she does not communicate with Carney using the Signal app. Jane stated Carney runs everything by Karen, meaning all of the blog posts and social media content is approved by Reed prior to Carney publishing. Dude, that's standard. That's standard. That is to preserve the integrity of your name as being an accurate reporter. That is not uncommon. Dude, did you see the movie fucking Almost Famous, bro? I mean, I always reference these fucking stupid fucking movies, dude. Like, in the movie Almost Famous, this kid gets this independent job to write a piece for Rolling Stone and follow this band around on tour and then interview them and then tell the story of what it was like being on tour with this band, right? But the thing is they have to verify. Rolling Stone had to verify the accuracy. They had to get verification from the band and say, is this true? Before we print it, we want to make sure that you are stating that this is true, right? And then they denied it. They threw the kid under the bus and they were like, this kid's full of shit. They threw the kid under the bus. The band did, right? I mean, that's just an example, people. That's an example right there. I mean, he's telling it, this isn't nefarious. This isn't unethical. It's the opposite of unethical. This is Aiden saying, before I print something regarding Karen Reed, I have to let Karen Reed know that I'm printing this, that I am going to put this out there so that she could say, that's not true. This is true. It's verifying information with your source. That's not, that actually makes me feel better about Turtle Boy's content. It makes me think it's more, it has more validity to it now. You know what I mean? Like, at no point am I reading any of this thinking, oh my God, this changes everything. Turtle Boy's been talking to Karen Reed. Fuck. At no point am I sitting here thinking that this is somehow weird or some sort of conspiracy to intimidate witnesses. None of that. I'm seeing him saying that in regards to the Karen Reed case, let me make sure that I got all of this right. Because if you're gonna implicate Karen Reed in intimidating witnesses, in Turtle Boy's charges of intimidating witnesses, if you're planning on implicating Karen Reed, you better have things that say Karen Reed saying, you need to go get in that person's face, shove your phone in their face, and then when you go on your live stream, say, hey, I'm not going away, get used to me, don't fucking show your face in public because you fucking suck. You know, how do you even fucking look in the fucking mirror, blah, blah, blah. You have to prove that Karen Reed told him to do that. You can't just because he's going to her and saying, hey, this is what I'm writing in regards to your case. What do you think? And maybe he just respects her. Maybe he just respects her opinion. Maybe she's a fan of his work, and he's like, hey, check out what I wrote. I'm really proud of it. What do you think? How in the shit is that colluding and conspiring to intimidate witnesses? It makes no sense. Show me something where Karen Reed goes, hey, you need to go and scare the shit out of Chris Albert and Brian Albert and Jennifer McCabe and Michael Proctor and Elizabeth Proctor. You need to go fucking shake their tree and scare the shit out of them to get them to talk. Or get them to not talk. Because again, how can you prove that Turtle Boy, this is how I know Turtle Boy's charges are bullshit, because I've said this many times and I'm going to say it again. How are you intimidating witnesses to actually talk? He's not trying to skew them away from taking the stand and testifying. He's putting pressure on them to actually testify and tell the truth. I mean, these are people who got lawyers trying to fight having to sit on the stand and testify. They don't want to testify. They don't want to be under oath and have that pressure to sit there and lie in front of a fucking jury. They don't want that. They're scared of that. The only pressure Turtle Boy has put on them is in order to get them to actually testify and tell the truth. He's not telling them not to testify. That's what witness intimidation is. The nature of witness intimidation, the purpose of witness intimidation is to get them to not talk. He's trying to get them to talk. And even still, I'm not seeing anything in regards to Karen Reed saying, hey, Turtle Boy, I need you to get in their faces and fucking scare some fucking sense into them to get them to talk. I'm not seeing any of that. Show me something that even remotely resembles that shit. And okay, okay, but I'm not seeing it. Hold on. Jade stated Carney showed her material related to the investigation of the homicide of John O'Keefe, including the 911 call and cruiser video footage before it was leaked on social media. On December 1st, 2023, Carney posted a live video on YouTube entitled Karen Reed's Case, Jen McCabe 911 Tape Breakdown. The audio is, in fact, a voicemail recovered by investigators from John O'Keefe's phone that captures Jen McCabe calling 911 from a different phone, reporting findings of John O'Keefe unresponsive. O'Keefe's phone was recovered by first responders on January 29th, 2022. It is reasonable to assume only the Commonwealth and Reed's attorneys are in possession of the audio file. Okay, so what they're saying is the fact that he played it on his channel. I mean, I had it before he did. I played it before he did. I mean, that's a fact. That's a fucking fact. As a matter of fact, Turtle Boy gave me a shout out on the news saying there was audio recording played by the Glarer on his channel last night, right before he had a court date. He was there. There was an audio recording of the 911 call that YouTube creator named the Glarer posted on his channel before he even broke it down. I did it first. So where did I get it? Am I in contact with Karen Reed? Am I in contact with Alan Jackson or David Yannetti? I can tell you truthfully, I know I could lie about it, but I can tell you guys truthfully, I have never spoken to Karen Reed or any member of her defense team ever. I've never spoken to anybody directly involved in that case. Nobody. But yet, I played it first. Someone fucking emailed it to me. That shit was out there. Now, I don't know who leaked it, but I'm telling you right now, as far as the public goes, well, I had it before Turtle Boy did. He even stated it publicly. Hold on. Cherry sent me something, so I'm just trying to look at it here. Oh, yeah, this is all Turtle Boy's. I mean, why are you sending me this? Well, I mean, I'll read this. When I'm done, I'll read. I have Turtle Boy's blog in regards to this, what we're talking about right now. I gotta say, man, it really must chap you motherfuckers' asses. I'm talking to you, Tully, Mello. It must chap your fucking asses, dude, that this dude is still blogging from jail. Like, I know it's chapping your ass because you tried to shut him up and the judge shut you the fuck down. It shit's killing me, dude. I think that shit's hilarious. I gotta tell you, I find that shit hilarious, bro. Like, your desperation is just killing me, dude. That shit is very funny to me. I gotta say. I mean, like, it's so fucking ridiculous that these people are like, oh, well, Yannetti and Jackson must have leaked it to Turtle Boy. Either that or the Commonwealth did because they were the only ones that had the fucking recording. Well, I mean, try to find out who leaked it because it could have been the Commonwealth. Because honestly, I wouldn't put it past the Commonwealth to do that shit just to try to implicate Turtle Boy that much more. Or try to implicate Karen Reed that much more. How do we know it didn't come from the Commonwealth? How do we know that it didn't come from the Michael Morrissey's office? With all the dirty, fucking ugly, gross shit that they've been doing, who's to say that they didn't fucking leak the 911 call themselves, and then some rando who has my very public emailed it to me, and I played it. And I played it before Turtle Boy did. I'm not saying I had it before Turtle Boy did. I don't know. But I know that I played it before this little, this little tidbit that you're adding in this bullshit probable cause for a search warrant. Jane described one instance where Reed controlled what Carney would publish. What? See, okay. I mean, we already know that this woman lied on the stand. Bradle fucking tore her apart and proved her to be a fucking liar. This is already fucking established. This is already established that this woman is a liar. So here she is claiming what? Let me read that again. That where Reed controlled what Carney would publish. So that's what you've got? And how is that control? I mean, I could see, you're wording that to mean like, oh my God. So Turtle Boy has to answer to Karen Reed, and Karen Reed is absolutely the brains and the puppet master behind what Turtle Boy publishes, right? No, bro. What that indicates to me, the way that's worded, is I'm going to take that like she approves what he can publish and what he can't, in the sense of the case itself. It simply means that if she doesn't want something on the record, she will state, no, please don't print that. I'm not ready for the public to know that. I don't want the public to know that. So he's, again, protecting his source. I mean, in what universe is that where, you know, it's like a politician who's blackmailing or controlling or paying a fucking a journalist to print something that spins a narrative in their favor. That's not what this is. Like, at least you're not proving to me that that's what it is. I mean, I'm not getting any indication of that at all. Yo, you guys kill me in this chat, dude. He's guilty of good journalism. Mello smells like an Italian sub. He does look like he smells like a fucking Italian sub. Like, Mello totally looks like he smells like cold cuts. Oh my God, I'm such a fucking child, dude. Oh man. Oh wait, hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Appreciate you guys waiting. That song does need a trigger warning. Apparently, that really upsets people sometimes. Apologize to me, Clara. Oh my goodness. Are you playing the Jeopardy song? I want an apology right now. Jane stated different sources of financial benefit for Carney and his partners. Jane stated Carney is doing well with donations. Carney had alluded to the fact that he did not pay for a Lexus SUV he recently acquired. Carney made statement similar to, if my frugal mother ever found out I paid for the Lexus, she would be mad. And even I didn't pay for it. What's wrong with that? A check of RMV records revealed that the Lexus was purchased at the end of June 2023. Further records revealed the vehicle was paid in full using a personal check. Jane stated she was told by Carney that Reed's attorneys are working with the U.S. Attorney's Office, specifically acting U.S. Attorney for the District of Massachusetts, Josh Levy. Okay, so Turtle Boy got a Lexus SUV as a donation, right? Or, according to this, because it sounds like it's insinuating that it was given as payment by maybe Karen Reed or maybe Karen Reed's defense team, which would be Karen Reed, since Karen Reed is paying her defense team. So, I mean, but it was paid for with a personal check. You didn't find out who wrote that personal check? Because if you tell me that personal check was written by Karen Reed or Yannetti or Jackson or a paralegal under one of their employees, I'm not seeing. I don't get it. And I don't know if he showed the car bills or not. I don't know. I have not followed Turtle Boy's content as closely as most of you guys. Suzanne, thank you so much. A car dealership will not take a personal check for $60K. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? If it clears, you know what I mean? I see what you're saying, but I don't see how. If I'm working at a car dealership, and someone says I'm going to write you a check, and that's their only way of making a payment, and I want to make that sale, then I'm going to be like, just hold on while that check clears. Let me make sure this check clears, and then here's your keys. But until you're not getting these keys until this check clears. But I could see that being the case. But I've never worked at a car dealership, so I don't fucking know. But Suzanne says, let's see, let's follow up on that. They want a certified or bank check as the personal check could bounce, or a person could stop payment on the check. I guess they could stop payment on the check, sure. So, but even still, I'd be like, well, I don't know. I think maybe it might even depend on the dealer, but we're having a very semantic discussion about this because I don't think it really matters. Okay, I'm going to try because it's breaking my heart. I'm going to try to let Clever back in here. Hopefully he doesn't get too hyper. Give me 1 second, guys. We're almost through this. I know, buddy. I love you. I know. But I can't have you wrecking everything when I'm trying to work, buddy. Okay, I got it, Robin. Okay, we got it. Okay. What have we learned today, folks? You can't pay for you can't pay for a car with a personal check. So, I mean, Grandmaster Sid Sophos, thank you so much. Appreciate it, buddy. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me. Where is this? Who is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy, bro? Somebody taking care of this guy? Is one of my mods already taking care of this guy? Yeah. Make Victor sit in the corner. I'm not gonna talk to people in my chat like that. All right. What's up, Papa? You good now? Huh? You good? Huh, baby boy? Huh? Oh, I love you too. I love you. Yes. He's a good boy. He's a sad, lonely cupcake. Is he a sad, lonely cupcake? All right. All right. Let's get through this thing. Jane stated different sources of financial benefit. Jane stated Carney is doing well with donations. Carney alluded to the fact that he did not pay for. Okay, I already read that. Jane stated that she was told by Carney that Reed's attorneys were working with the U.S. Attorney's Office, specifically acting U.S. Attorney for the District of Massachusetts, Josh Levy. Carney would talk a lot about the federal grand jury and Levy with Jane. Jane stated Karen Reed was interviewed by federal law enforcement. Jane also shared other comments Carney learned from Reed that are corroborated by other information known to this affiant. Jane was served with a summons to appear before the grand jury on December 22nd, 2023. Carney learned Jane was served the summons and they agreed to meet at her apartment on the night of December 23rd. During this meeting, Carney told Jane to tell the grand jury she did not remember anything, delete evidence from her phone, and told her he would hire an attorney if she cooperated with him. Carney later assaulted Jane, which led to Medfield police charging Carney with assault and battery on a family household member and witness intimidation. Carney was arraigned in Dedham District Court on those charges on December 26th. Based upon the foregoing facts, there is probable cause to believe that Karen Reed committed a violation of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 268, Section 13B, witness interference. Matthew McCabe, Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Chris Albert, Colin Albert, Juliana Albert, Juliana Nagel, Michael Proctor, and Elizabeth Proctor, which reads, whoever willfully, either directly or indirectly, threatens, attempts, or causes physical, emotional, or economic injury or property damage, conveys a gift, offers or promise or anything of value, or misleads, intimidates, or harasses, or breathes near, or sneezes, or mentions someone's name who is a person, witness, potential witness, person who is aware of information, records, documents, objects that relate to a violation of criminal law or a violation of conditions of probation, parole, bail, or other court order, judge, juror, grand juror, attorney, victim, witness, advocate, police officer, correction officer, federal agent, milkman, investigator, clerk, court officer, court reporter, court interpreter, probation officer, parole officer, dog walker, person who is was attending, or a person who had made known an intention to attend a proceeding described in this section, or family member of a person described in this section with the intent to, or that with reckless disregard for the fact that it may impede, obstruct, delay, prevent, or otherwise interfere with a criminal investigation at any stage, a grand jury proceeding or dangerousness hearing, a motion hearing, or a trial, or any criminal proceedings, or a circle jerk, or any type of parole hearing, parole violation proceeding, or probation violation proceeding, or an administrative hearing, or probate or family court or proceedings, juvenile proceeding, house proceeding, game of Monopoly, landing proceeding, clerk's hearing, court order mediation, or any other civil proceeding of any type, or punish, harm, or otherwise relate against any such person described in this section, fart next to, for such person or such person's family members participating in any of the proceedings described in this section shall be punished by imprisonment in the state prison for no more than 10 years, or by imprisonment in the house of correction for not more than two and a half years, or by a fine of not less than $1,000 or more than $5,000, which both blah, 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 we don't care. Based upon the foregoing facts, there is probable cause to believe that Karen Reed committed a violation of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 274, Section 7, conspiracy to commit intimidation of a witness. What? By entering into an agreement with Aiden Carney by providing information, photography, material relative to her criminal defense, and editorial oversight of blog posts and videos intended to harass, intimidate, and cause emotional harm. How? I read nothing in this thing that states that. I read absolutely nothing in there that indicates that. The information provided by Natalie and Jane outlines the close communication between Carney and Reed. The communication was continued after Carney was arrested and arraigned on charges of intimidation of a witness. Reed feeding Carney information was not only providing her defense theory, as she did with the national news outlets. Reed and her attorneys and Carney have publicly mischaracterized their relationship. So what? The information fed to Carney was later cited by Reed's defense counsel in a written motion. Carney's statements of jury influence and prevent the case from reaching trial are clear motivation. Carney and Reed are conspiring to commit witness intimidation. As the witness intimidation statute allows, Karen Reed has indirectly intimidated and harassed the witness named in this affidavit. Wow. Evidence such as crimes will be found on mobile electronic devices used by Reed to communicate, harass, intimidate, and receive information. On December 23rd, 2023, I applied for and was granted a search warrant out of Norfolk Superior Court to seize cell phone presumably used by Karen Reed. Efforts to location Reed within the 7 days of issuance of the search warrant were unsuccessful. This gets interesting. On January 9th, 2024, I applied for and was granted a search warrant out of Norfolk Superior Court to obtain the real-time location information of the cell phone associated with blah, 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 and separate search warrant to seize the device. I served the search warrant on Verizon and began receiving location information in the afternoon of January 9th. The location information suggested the phone was at the residence of Reed in Mansfield. On January 10th, I obtained a search warrant from Stoughton District Court to enter the residence to execute the search warrant to seize the cell phone. After obtaining the Stoughton District Court, the Stoughton District, I don't know if that's District Court, search warrant, and traveling to Mansfield to execute the search warrant, the phone location began to move north to the Seaport area of Boston. Given the wide radius of the location information, the infrequency of the information every 15 minutes, and the destiny of the area, the decision was made to monitor the location information overnight. The following day, January 11th, the phone location suggested the phone boarded an airplane at the Logan Airport and traveled to Sarasota, Florida, where it remained for the duration of the time frame authorized by the search warrant. This is going to get fun in a second here, folks. Digital forensics is a branch of forensic science encompassing the recovery, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we'll get into that in a second. But January 11th, the phone located suggested the phone boarded an airplane at Logan Airport and traveled to Sarasota, Florida, where it remained for the duration of the time frame authorized by the search warrant. Now, let's this is fun stuff, folks, because I have questions. I have questions. Other people have questions too. other folks have questions too. So right here, let me show you guys a little something. Now, when was this taken? It is. I am of the understanding. Jesus, Clubber, you're killing me, bro. Clubber, stop. Like, you're literally tearing the wall up. So this was taken on January 15th. It's a little dark, but this right here is Jen McCabe. That is not Karen Reed. That is Jen McCabe. And she is boarding a flight from Palm Beach International Airport in Florida, which is not far. It would be the airport that I would imagine you would take that you would go to take a plane from Sarasota, right? So January 15th, but I find that interesting. Because Karen Reed, if she's on bail, how is she able to go to Florida? Why isn't she being charged with jumping bail? If Karen Reed traveled out of the state, Clubber, stop, please. If Karen Reed traveled out of the state, now it does depend on bail restrictions. Right. So again, like I said, I just have questions. But I would imagine, especially if she's, if she's being charged with murder, but wouldn't we know if she asked for permission from the court? Wouldn't there be a filing? Wouldn't there be a filing from the defense asking the judge to lift a certain jail restriction and say, hey, my client would like to travel to Florida for personal or business or whatever, right? So does it have its own international airport? Sarasota has an international airport? Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I've been to Sarasota before, but I don't know if they have an international airport or not. Filthy Rat Bastard, welcome. So, and thank you for joining. So, but the timing is pretty interesting, because I mean, what a coincidence that Karen Reed and Jen McCabe would be in Florida at right about the same time. What's Jen McCabe doing in Florida? I mean, I don't care what Jen McCabe is doing in Florida. Honestly, I really don't care. That's none of my business. I don't give a shit. But the fact that this was taken on January 15th, and it says here, that on January 11th, the phone boarded an airplane from Logan Airport, which I would imagine is in Boston or near Boston, going to Sarasota, Florida. So on January 15th, this picture is taken of Jen McCabe in West Palm Beach. So do they even have? Now, I don't know. I mean, again, it's a reach. It's definitely a stretch. This was brought up to me but it's definitely a stretch, you know. But I mean, Jen McCabe is right around the same time traveling to Florida at the same time that Karen Reed is traveling to Florida. Why? Do they even have Karen Reed's phone? And this right here also, this totally disproves okay, thank you. Yes. All right. Sarasota is on the west coast of Florida, Palm Beach is on the east coast. So I don't know. Like I said, it's a stretch, it's a reach. So it was brought up to me. I'm just addressing it. But it's not necessarily my opinion. But now what this absolutely does prove, in my opinion, personally, in my opinion, sorry, hold on. Oh my God, come on. Yeah, and Matt traveled, but it says go into Vegas, January 10th. And it's also the same date as the indictment for the Massachusetts State police officers who were just recently arrested. So that's interesting timing as well. Clubber, please, bro, lay down, relax. Thank you. Hold on. I'm getting stuff sent to me. Yeah, I don't fully understand that. So yeah, a lot of you guys already know more than I do. But what I'm finding interesting about this, so let's read this one more time. On January 9th, they applied and was granted a search warrant. I served the search warrant on Verizon and began receiving location information on the afternoon of January 9th. The location information suggested the phone was at the residence of Reed and Mansfield. On January 10th, I obtained a search warrant from Stoughton District Court to enter the residence to execute search warrant to seize the cell phone. After obtaining the Stoughton search warrant and traveled to Mansfield to execute the search warrant, the phone location began to move north to Seaport area of Boston. Given the wide radius of the location information, the infrequency of the information every 15 minutes, and the destiny of the area, the decision was made to monitor the location information overnight. So and it goes on to say digital forensics is a branch of forensic science encompassing the new recovery, preservation, investigation, examination, and analysis of material found on digital evidence. Digital forensic software allows forensic examiners to extract data from digital devices and parse it into readable format. The majority of software programs do not allow for date, time, contact restrictions and require the acquisition and extraction of all data from a digital device. Because of these software limitations, I request permission to seize all data of mobile devices seized. Based upon my training and experience, I know from my training and experience that today's cell phones are capable of conducting internet searches, storing large amounts of data, and connecting to external devices via USB, cable, and Bluetooth wireless. Bluetooth is a wireless connection over a short distance and allows the exchange of information. Wireless devices such as security camera can connect to smartphones via wireless and Bluetooth signals. In addition to making traditional telephone calls, cell phones have the capability of accessing the internet over a cellular data connection, which would allow you to communicate, upload, and download files while moving from one location to another. This is basically how we all know cell phones work. I know that people who committed criminal offenses together often communicate prior to or following that crime. Additionally, those who commit criminal offenses often communicate with their co-conspirators prior to following the crime. I know that it is common for people to communicate via text messaging, multimedia messaging, phone calls, and emails. I know from my training and experience that commonly used digital devices, including smartphones and portable devices, these mobile devices can be moved from one Wi-Fi connection to another with ease in conjunction with cellular connection with a cellular provider. Often, people transport these portable devices from location to location. I know from training and experience that cell phones used to access the internet usually contain account names, files, logs, or file remnants, which would tend to show ownership and use of the computer, as well as ownership and use of the internet service accounts used for the internet access. I know from my training and experience that Apple devices that are signed in under the same Apple ID will share information such as internet searches across these devices signed in through Apple's iCloud services. This service allows you to sync and access your data from any of your devices wherever you are. I know from my training and experience that technology has advanced. The mobile cellular telephone is not just a device, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I don't need a lesson on how cell phones work. Consequently, there are probable cause to believe that the historical GPS data associated with the cell phone will contain recorded evidence of the physical location of the associated mobile device. Whether the device is moving or stationary, information of evidence of the associated device and travels should contribute to identifying the locations from which the device departed, the locations where the associated device traveled to, and the time the associated device remained at different coordinates. Karen Reed I'm skipping a bunch of stuff here because it's just formalities. Karen Reed has been charged with criminal offenses since February 2022 and has been represented by attorneys. It is reasonable to assume her electronic devices capable of communication would contain communications with attorneys that could be privileged. I respectfully request to only seize such devices. Following the seizure of such devices, no search would commence until such time a taint team or special master protocol is agreed upon by a prosecuting attorney for the Commonwealth and Defense Counsel. Once a protocol is agreed upon, I will apply for a subsequent search warrant to particularize a search, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this is just asking what so he's given this request of a seizure only. I respectfully request the authority to download and preserve data of any device seized. The download of the data contains. So he doesn't have permission yet. This is in order to get him. This is so Tully can get permission to actually search the devices. He got the devices. He already got the okay to search or to obtain the devices, but now he's asking for permission to search the devices. But nowhere in there does it state that Karen Reed wiped these phones. It doesn't even imply that Karen Reed wiped her phones. So I'd like to know where Chrissy Bello, I already went over Bradle's statement. They know. Okay, that's the thing, Kim O'Brien. This is what's interesting. They know that they talked because of this Natalie person who acted as an intermediary. One, two, because they searched Turtle Boy's devices, which they didn't ever get the approval to do. They seized his devices like they did Karen Reed's, but they never got the approval to actually search the devices. Yet somehow they already know the contents of Turtle Boy's devices. So tell me how they can actually use the fact so Tully, in all of his vast experience as an investigator, went ahead and implicated himself in violating Turtle Boy's rights by stating what they found on his phone when he never got, Tully never got permission to search the phone. He never got a judge to sign off on him being allowed to search the phone. So a lot of this information, at least the hours and hours of over the 40 hours of phone calls that took place, the conversations that took place, that could only have been obtained through Turtle Boy's devices. But Turtle Boy they never got permission to search Turtle Boy's devices, only to obtain the devices. So how are his rights not being violated, A, and B, how could they get probable cause based on the violation of someone else's rights who's sitting in jail right now? That's what I want to know. And there's no anything in here about about Karen Reed wiping her phones in a hurry before they showed up and took her phones. So Grant the butt bleeder, your source sucks. Your source is full of shit. I don't even think you have a source, Grant butt bleeder. I think that you made the shit up. And you just make things up, hoping that things stick once this information comes out. How can you fucking do that? And how does anybody with any brains fucking even bother listening to you? Because so far I haven't seen anybody with any brains fucking listening to you. Like, I mean, I had a guy up here. I had a guy up here stating that your information is fucking basically gospel to him. and he was up here saying, well, you know, he has a source. He has a source. So I happen to know that Karen Reed wiped her phones. That's a direct, that's absolutely something that makes her look guilty. Maybe, but the problem is that there's nothing in there saying that she wiped her phones. That would absolutely be in this request for another search warrant to search her devices. That would absolutely be in there. That would say somewhere in there, despite the fact that she has wiped her phone clean. Well, I mean, how do you know? How do you know that she wiped her phone? Where'd you get that? Because don't you think that source would have told Tully? Because obviously he'd have to see the phones to know that it's been wiped. He'd have to be able to have searched the phone already or tried to search the phone in order to know that it's been wiped, or both phones to see if they've been wiped, right? He would have to. But the thing is that if you have a source that claims that she wiped the phones, don't you think that source would have fucking told Tully the same thing? But there's nothing in there about that. That's because, butt bleeder, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. We're calling you out. You're full of shit. You're full of lies. You are not a reporter. You are a dickhead and a liar. Plain and simple. So, I mean, Yeah, I'm definitely to the point now. I'm interested to find out what Bradle's next move is going to be, because I mean, long story short here, there's nothing in here that indicates that there was any type of collusion or conspiracy to intimidate witnesses between Karen Reed and Turtle Boy. I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing a journalist with a source communicating with his source. I'm seeing the two of them, even if it was on a personal level, there's nothing to indicate or give them probable cause to think that they were conspiring to intimidate witnesses. And the fact is that we all know that Turtle Boy's sitting in jail right now under those bullshit charges. He never intimidated witnesses to begin with. He never did. Like, that entire charging document is full of lies, mistruths, embellishments. I mean, we went over this. So basically what you're trying to prove here is that Karen Reed conspired with Turtle Boy to not intimidate witnesses, to actually not intimidate witnesses. To that's what you're searching Karen Reed's phones for, is to find proof that he didn't do that he conspired with her to not do what he's charged with, because we know that he didn't do those things. We already went over it. You put video titles and timestamps claiming that he did these things, and they're absolutely spun out of context, if not flat out lies. I mean, if not just plain lies. I mean, it doesn't matter, because here's the thing. You're saying Mello will never be able to persuade a judge of probable cause. Everything that Mello has done right now is on record. All of his nefarious bullshit behavior is already on record. It's out there. Everyone knows. Any judge is going to know. Any judge moving forward is going to know. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they don't give a fuck about charging Karen Reed with these things. All they want to do is search her phones to find out what she knows about a grand jury investigation, a federal grand jury. That's all they want. They want to know what she knows about the federal grand jury. They want to know what she knows about the federal investigation that they are subject of, that Tully is subject of, that Proctor is subject of, that the district attorney is Morrissey is subject of. Guaranteed. None of this shit is about witness intimidation. That's just what they're using to be able to violate someone's privacy and find out what they need to know so they can fucking get on board and get on task of covering the shit up. Finding out what the feds are looking at so they can fucking so that they can get ahead of it. That's all this is about. And it's clear. It's just clear. You know how I know? Because nothing stated in that showed any probable cause. There was no probable cause there to search her devices. None. Just because they communicated? That's your probable cause? The fact that the two of them, had lunch? Talked on the phone? I mean, what the fuck? Like, that could have just straight up been, hey, Karen, What you doing? Yeah. Oh my God. Did you watch The Bachelor? Holy shit. I mean, that's all that could have been. For all you fucking know. That you're sitting here and trying to pinpoint the nature of their conversations when all you know is that they talked. They could have straight up went to fucking lunch and Turtle Boy could have just been like, the whole nature of the conversation could have been like, fuck. Look at this spoon. You know, I prefer a spork. They're gonna give me a spoon. What if I want to like stab what I'm eating, Karen? You know what I mean? What if I want to just stab what I'm eating? Why don't I have the option? Why are they just gonna give me a spoon? What am I supposed to do with this? I'm supposed to eat spaghetti with a spoon? That could have been the entire nature of their conversation at lunch. And guess what? That's nobody's fucking business. That's nobody's business. It's killing me right now, dude, that you people are fucking acting like there's some sort of probable cause to search her devices because they talked. That's kind of one of the benefits of being out on bail, you know? You get to talk to people, you know? You can talk to whoever the fuck you want. You're not in jail. And guess what? People in jail, they still get to talk to people. Turtle Boy's in jail right now. Just wrote a blog. So here we go. Let me go ahead and read that real quick. And here's the link to that. So Canton cover up part 280. Search it chaps their asses so bad that these Canton cover up fucking blogs just keep getting written. So Canton cover search for warrant. Kara Reed's phone shows Lindsay Natalie lied to investigators. And then it shows Ted Daniels post that I reposted. And Ted Daniels post, I have a copy of the search warrant Massachusetts State Police used to seize Karen Reed's phones last week in connection with Special Prosecutor Ken Mello's witness intimidation investigation. And B, thank you. Please do more impressions, please. I will one of these days. They have to come naturally, you know. Ken Mello's witness intimidation, not the murder case involving Aiden Carney, aka Turtle Boy. I'm going through the 31-page document now. We'll report on Boston 25 this evening. Here are some of the. Oh my God, I hate these ads. Here are some of the highlights from the initial scan. The search warrant cites probable cause that Reed committed witness interference and conspiracy to commit witness intimidation by allegedly working with Aiden Carney. Massachusetts State Police alleges Carney initially began communicating with Reed April 2023 through a college friend of Reed's who has since flipped sides and is cooperating with Massachusetts State Police. Reed's college friend told Massachusetts State Police that Reed's attorneys were working with Josh Levy, and Levy was directly involved in a federal grand jury. On April 23rd, 2023, Reed's friend texted Carney, not public. The feds have been involved longer than anyone is likely guessing. Again, this is all about, I mean, even Boston 25 is smelling through this bullshit and going, dude, like, this is about the federal investigation. That's all this is about. These people are scared shitless of a federal investigation. Why the fuck else would Tully fly all the way to California to talk to this lady? Why the fuck would he do that? Why would Tully just, I mean, he would fly across the country to talk to someone and for what? To get answers involving to find out what she knows about the federal investigation, to find out what Karen Reed knows about the federal investigation. That's it. These people are dying to know what they know about the federal investigation. They're scared shitless. And why are they scared shitless? Because they have something to hide. That, to me, is what indicates the difference between negligent investigating and fucking corruption. That shit is what makes me think that these fuckers are corrupt. Not, I mean, because I mean, it could just be, you know, well, shit, you know, I'm fucking red Solo cups, my bad. Leaf blower, my bad. You know, oh shit, forgot to get the witnesses to sign their statements. My bad. But that didn't happen. I mean, this is them going, what the fuck are we gonna do? And that's fucking DA Morrissey going, hey, what you need to do is get your ass on a plane and fly out to California and talk to this lady. Find out what she knows. I don't want anything fucking recorded. I don't want anything recorded. I want to know what I want you to find out face to face with her, find out what she knows. And omit what hurts us versus what helps us. I mean, that's the only way it's the only reasoning that I could think of as to why Tully would fly all the way out to California to interview this person in person. Why not just? Because he would be afraid of Natalie recording the conversation. Because nowhere in that does it state that he recorded the conversation with Natalie, that he recorded the interview. Where does it state that? In every other police report that I've ever seen, they say, well, I recorded, I pulled out my tape recorder, I let the witness know that I was recording the conversation, and I mean, but why are there no recordings of these witness statements? I mean, never heard of a witness being interviewed where it wasn't recorded. That's fucking standard. It's absolutely standard. It's crazy to me. Nobody's asking why nobody's saying that that's suspicious other than those of us who are questioning this investigation. Anybody who's on the Karen Reed is guilty bandwagon is going, what do you know? Like this fucking idiot that I had on here the other day. He's like, well, are you a cop? What do you know what standard procedure is? Fucking every other single fucking trial that I've ever covered. You've got an investigating officer sitting on a stand going, I let the witness know that I recorded the conversation, blah, blah, blah. And then the cop just sits there for however long it takes on the stand while the jury listens to a recording of the interview or watches the recording of the interview. Because if it takes place in the police station, which it normally would, it's recorded. Live to tape. Live to tape. I love it. This is such a fucking sham, dude. Like, this is unbelievable. The only reason I'm laughing at this is because it's fucking, like, if I saw this shit in a fucking movie, dude, this reminds me of the fucking Steven Soderbergh movie, The Informant, Like, because it was painted as a comedy. It wasn't funny. You know what I mean? Like, but it was. It was. Matt Damon's character was fucking like, yeah, these guys are a bunch of fucking cartoon characters. Morrissey to Proctor to Tully, you guys are a bunch of fucking cartoon characters. Mello, you're a fucking cartoon character. How am I not supposed to laugh at you? How am I not supposed to find what you're doing fucking hilarious if it wasn't so fucking sad? Because the thing is the only reason I'm laughing is because I know that all of this shit is going to become very, very public. All of this shit is going to get him. This stuff is being investigated right now. The feds are watching every single fucking thing that's going on. They're probably watching this live stream for all I know. But they're taking note on everything. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. That's why it's funny. That's why it's funny, because I'm imagining this shit being presented in a court of law, in a federal court. And this is the thing, folks. Don't get your hopes up, because I know a lot of you are sitting there going, oh my God, I can't wait to watch the trial. I can't wait to watch Morrissey sitting there on trial. You're not going to get to see that. They don't televise or stream federal cases. It doesn't happen. So don't get your hopes up about that. So you're going to have to sit there and follow someone on Twitter tweeting every single thing, play by play, moment by moment, in real time, as things go on. That's what you're going to have to, that's what you're going to get. So just know that. But you'll get the perp walk. Yes. P. St. Croix. You'll get the perp walk. Okay, now there's all this. I'm not going to read all of Aiden's blog here. Just I'm going to get to the meat. Karen Reed's parents saving Turtle Boy a seat in court is not a crime. Attempting to speak with sources for a story is not a crime. Reporting to the public fact that Colin Albert obtained a lawyer is not a crime. Reporting about the existence of a federal grand jury after Colin Albert was served in his dorm room by the FBI is not a crime. Turtle Boy does not reveal sources. However, there is nothing wrong or criminal about seeking out people close to Karen Reed in order to write a story about her. At no point did Karen Reed ever direct content on the Turtle Boy website. What's her face? I don't even know how to say her last name. Lied when she said the Turtle Boy got permission. It's the same Jane. Let's call her Jane. Permission to post Canton Police dash cam video, nor has she ever seen the footage. At no point has Turtle Boy ever posted Canton Police dash cam videos. That's what I'm saying. Like, when did I see the cash? I didn't see any Canton dash cam video. I would have went over that. Where's the dash cam video? I never went over that. Videos that likely make Jennifer McCabe look even worse than she already does in the 911 call. Exactly. Tully claims that Turtle Boy was the first to post the 911 call voicemail on December 1st, which he believes is evidence that Reed sent him the audio. However, the video was initially posted on November on a YouTube channel called Masshole Troll Mafia, which is run by a woman who works with MSP and the DA's office, whose son's asshole bleeds profusely and has a gluten allergy. Turtle Boy never told Jane to delete messages from her phone or lie to the grand jury. In fact, here are the screenshots of Turtle Boy urging Jane to tell the truth because of the two men who have nothing to hide. I won't be able to lie in court. I would never suggest anyone lie in court. Everyone should tell the truth. Tully claims that information fed to Turtle Boy by the defense was used in a defense motion. He is referring to the Rule 17 motion for Jen McCabe and Michael Proctor's communications, a motion that was successful due to the fact that Turtle Boy reported on 9/25 about a social visit between McCabe and the Proctors at the Proctor household. Turtle Boy reported months ago that Natalie was the conduit between Reed and Turtle Boy. Karen would not speak directly to Turtle Boy, so as a responsible journalist, he sought out a source close to her who gave him factual information on a story he was reporting to. This isn't the bombshell these mental midgets think it is. If Reed's attorneys are cooperating with Josh Levy, this isn't the scandal that Mello and Tully think it is. The feds are conducting an investigation into the DA's investigation of Reed. The defense would obviously provide the feds with evidence that their client is being framed for murder. The plan here is obvious. Tully and Michael Morrissey are trying to smear Josh Levy as a corrupt agent of Reed and Turtle Boy. It is their last desperate Hail Mary because they know Levy is about to indict them. Turtle Boy discovered this information on December 23rd at Jane's house, when she willingly showed him all her communications with Tully and Mello. Text messages reveal that Jane specifically invited Turtle Boy to her apartment to show him this information that he never got a chance to report because Jane became upset when he wouldn't sleep over. Then conspired with Tully to call in a false report of domestic violence, leading to Turtle Boy's incarceration. However, there is proof of all of this in Jane's phone, which she lied that she didn't bring to court on January 8th, which we know she lied about because even her lawyer outed her. Her attorney was like, you took a phone call from your children or from your children's daycare just a little while ago. Did you not? Natalie lied when she claimed that Reed got Turtle Boy to write the story. Turtle Boy looked into it after multiple Turtle writers messaged him with links to public court documents about the case. He began investigating and was put in touch with Natalie, who gave him links to public Facebook accounts of the McAlberts, which he got pictures from and used in part 1 of the Canton cover-up, published April 18th, 23. Natalie texting Turtle Boy that the feds are involved in the case was a statement of fact. It's quite literally their job to investigate public corruption. The DA is trying to frame this as evidence that the feds, Reed, and Turtle Boy conspired to intimidate witnesses. Anything involving any investigation into the McAlberts is framed by Mello and Tully as witness intimidation, despite strong evidence that the witnesses murdered John O'Keefe. Proctor's, again, people, this is Turtle Boy's opinions, okay? I'm just reading what he wrote. Proctor's address is public information, is listed in the Norfolk County Registry of Deeds website. You can also Google Michael Proctor's address, and it will appear. Tully and Mello are trying to suggest that Reed gave Turtle Boy this public information, leading him to go to Proctor's house on the 722 rolling rally. This is the last-ditch attempt to charge Reed and Turtle Boy with conspiracy to commit witness intimidation so that Reed's bail would be revoked. Jane told Turtle Boy that on 12/20, told Turtle Boy on 12/23 that Tully told her this was their plan. Telling Natalie, it's my job and glad to help, isn't a crime. It's quite literally Turtle Boy's job to help innocent people expose corruption, and he's glad to do it, even if he goes to jail for it, which we know for a fact is the case. Turtle Boy never once told Jane that the feds spoke with Reed because he has no knowledge of that. Jane is making this up because she personally hates Karen Reed and is jealous of her due to the fact that she believes Turtle Boy is in love with Reed. She constantly brought this up in text messages due to her insecurity, despite being told many times that Turtle Boy's only interest in Reed was reporting on the story. And then it shows text messages. Again, guys, here. You guys can read this for yourselves. Here's the link. Most of you guys already know how to get to this stuff. You don't even need me to share the link, but I'm sharing the link anyway. This is going into this stuff, the personal stuff between the two of them that I don't give a fuck about. I'm being honest with you guys. I just don't care. I'm not going to read the rest of that. But now, yeah, I do know that when discussing Turtle Boy's case, discussing Karen Reed's now involvement in Turtle Boy's case, not Turtle Boy's involvement in Karen Reed's case, but Karen Reed's involvement in Turtle Boy's case, I know that this woman, based on watching her take the stand at this civil hearing in regards to a temporary restraining order. When it comes to that, I know that she's a fucking liar because it was proven that she is a fucking liar. So anything that she says in regards to what she told Tully in his investigating is just plain not true. Or at least it holds no water of credit. It holds no water as far as credibility goes. It just does not. I do not find this woman and anything that she says to be at all credible because she is a proven liar. So, and I mean, the more and more this shit happens, the more and more, I mean, what are they trying to do? The more and more this shit happens, the more I think that Karen Reed is innocent. Again, the Streisand effect, Morrissey. I'm talking to you, buddy. The Streisand effect. Here you are doing all these insane last-ditch efforts to fucking try to save face and make these and make these charges, you know, charge these people with certain crimes that just aren't crimes. And all it does is make me think that you railroaded Karen Reed that much more. It doesn't make me go, oh, well, wait a minute. Shit, they made another arrest, so, okay. No. I mean, none of what you're doing is making me feel like Karen Reed is more guilty. I just don't, I don't buy it. The more you do, the more I think that Karen Reed is innocent. It's funny. Morrissey and Mello have done more, and Tully have done more to make me think that Karen Reed is innocent than Turtle Boy has. And you got him locked up in jail. That's fucking killing me right now. Hey, that shit's fucking hilarious. Not that Turtle Boy's in jail. I'm saying that you guys think that locking him up was going to make me go, oh, well, geez. Well, I got to rethink this whole thing. Incredible, dude. Like, none of what you're doing. Well, this is appalling. You cannot have a blogger going around and intimidating witnesses. Dude, shut up. Just stop. Stop. Like, you put the internet's forever. There's absolutely no personal relationship between the Proctors and the McCabe's, and anything that insinuates this is just a lie. Like, no, bro. Like, we know, we saw it. Bro, it's right here. Dude, it's right fucking here, dude. Like, it's right here. Look. Homie. It's right fucking there. That's Jennifer McCabe's Jeep in front of Michael Proctor's house, bro. Explain that shit. Michael Proctor would have no motive to plant evidence. Bro, we know. That right there proves motive. That he would plant that fucking evidence. That's you. That's you. You telling lies is what makes me think, you know what I mean? Who am I supposed to believe? I'm supposed to believe the guy that fucking made a public statement and fucking flat out lied to everyone versus the guy who's sitting in jail who provided the proof that you were full of shit. Who am I supposed to believe? I'm a bystander here. I'm an outsider looking in. I'm just a member of the American public. And I'm looking at you as a fucking liar, Morrissey. And I'm looking at Turtle Boy as the guy who proved that you're a fucking liar. And I'm supposed to sit here and go, oh, well, Turtle Boy's in jail, so he must be guilty of something. No, bro. We're all here because he's trying to prove that you just put an innocent woman in jail and then you put him in jail to shut him up. So I'm supposed to think that she's guilty? I'm supposed to think now that she's that much more guilty because you locked this guy up? No, dude. Now I'm like, she's probably innocent. Fuck. I was willing to think that it was just, bad police work. I was willing to think it was just bad police work, But now I'm like, you dirty, dirty motherfuckers, bro. Like, come on, man. Like you work alongside with this Proctor guy who can't even fucking get a witness to sign a statement, who can't even fucking who can't even log and report a search where he finds pieces of a taillight 5 different times. And we're not supposed to think that there's something fucking nefarious about you flying all the way to California to talk to some lady who just all of a sudden flips and doesn't like Turtle Boy, or Karen Reed has a falling out with this woman who she went to college with. And now all of a sudden we're supposed to take her word for everything. Because at no point did you state why she flipped. You just said she flipped. Like, I could see where you I could see you putting in this probable cause. I could see you putting like, well, it turns out that Natalie realized that Karen Reed was guilty because of this, and this. But you didn't put any of that, Tully. You didn't put any of that in there. You just said she flipped and is now cooperating with the Massachusetts State Police. But you didn't give any reason why. So, I mean, what am I supposed to think here? The fuck am I supposed to think? Dude, it's so shady that you flew all the way out to California and then and then you just write something. Everything that I read there is based on your word. I don't even know that she even said the shit that you're saying she said. And how much of it is how much of what she said was left out? How much did you cherry pick of what she said to put in this search warrant application? Mind-blowing. Oh, now you're tired. I'm about to wrap this up, and now you're tired. Now you're just going to lay down. Okay. Clever. Well, I mean, right. I mean, that's a valid theory. You know why that's a valid theory? Because there's been no reason given why she would flip. Because I would think that somebody would flip because they realized something based on some new evidence presented to them. Like, oh, fuck, my friend lied to me about killing her boyfriend. And now I'm like, fuck, she must fucking lied. She's a killer. And this is why. But there's nothing to indicate why she flipped. All of a sudden, she was cool with Karen, and now all of a sudden she's not. Okay. Based on Tully's word. Scott McGinnis, thank you so much, buddy. The scope of corruption in this case in Massachusetts goes all the way to the Boston State House and then all the way to Washington, D.C. I mean, thank you, Scott. I'm not ready for all that just yet. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully this federal investigation gets, uncovers whatever, whoever's responsible for being fucking dirty and all this. But But I mean, this is as far as my conspiracy theory mind will go so far. I have enough to believe that there is absolutely a conspiracy to cover up railroading Karen Reed. I have plenty to believe that. Plenty to logically come to that conclusion. But that I need more. That I'm going to need more. But, we'll see. We'll get there. I don't doubt it. But I'm not going to be like, shouting from the rooftops about corruption from Washington, D.C. being involved in Karen Reed's cover-up. Well, Bob Brown, the thing about Grant is he's a fucking retard. Sorry, not sorry. The guy is a willfully ignorant fucking moron. The dude tweeted an excuse for smoking weed being that his asshole bleeds. Who the fuck does that? That's not a smart person. That's not the behavior of a credible person. That's not somebody that you invest your fucking time into taking seriously. Because now all I picture is a dude sitting. Now all I just picture a guy fucking sitting there fucking off to the side of the courthouse and hitting a blunt and being like, oh shit, time to change the brawny out of my ass, and keeps a fucking roll of brownie in a man purse because it's super absorbent. It's the bigger, quicker picker upper, bro. How am I supposed to take that guy fucking seriously, dude? How am I supposed to do that? That's your fault, Grant. That's not my fault. I didn't put that shit out there. You did. Gives a shit who paid for Aiden's Lexus. What does that matter? And with a personal check? Come on. We already had that semantic argument. But people that are like, well, I worked for a car dealership, or my husband worked for a car dealership, and they say you can't buy a car with a personal check. So that just indicates that Tully's full of shit. Wish somebody would buy me a fucking car. Shit. But I don't put in half the work into this I don't even put in half the work into this that fucking Turtle Boy puts in. That motherfucker earned that shit. Like, somebody bought him a car. He probably fucking earned it. But, dude, come on, man. I'm just, yeah. Grant, you're killing me right now, bro. Like, just wrap it up, dude. just knock it off already. Paul Cristoforo, thank you so much, buddy. Morrissey, Tully, we will be at your office on Tuesday at 3 p.m. exercising our First Amendment rights. Thank you for the warrant. You probably doubled our attendance. Yeah, guys, make sure. The last live stream I had, I cannot express this enough. Those easily my since I started covering this case, those are easily my favorite guests that I've had on this. Was having Paul, Tracy, Dana, and Rita sorry, I got distracted. Paul, Tracy, Dana, and Rita on here. I just loved having them up here, and you know, people accusing them of being paid for what? Like, I mean, that shit killed me, dude. That was the funniest shit in the world. Sorry, man. I mean, it's an easy fix, you know, just having them up here and being able to counter that bullshit that was spread on court TV is an easy fix. But I mean, dude, like Karen Reed organized and had some secret company. These people, they're not fucking Antifa, bro. There's no fucking pallet. There's no fucking truck that dropped off a bunch of pallets full of fucking protest signs and t-shirts. These people took their own hard-earned money and went to Dollar Tree. They went to Dollar Tree and got stencils and made signs, bro. That's what anybody does. How are you trying to make that out to be like there's this big conspiracy to make signs? I can't even fucking discuss that shit without laughing. When I saw that, it made me mad. But I'm past the being mad point because I got to talk to all of them up here. I'm past that. Now it's just fucking funny. It's just fucking funny that you people expect us to believe that there's this big conspiracy, this behind the scenes network that's funding, you know, that Karen Reed is behind funding these signs. Oh my God, that truck, it's so expensive. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, these motherfuckers, they paid for that shit themselves, dude. These beautiful people that represent the city of the town of Canton, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the very people who the prosecution in the Karen Reed case say the people of the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed. And here those people are all like, not me. Nuh-uh. Not me, dude. Not me. I went to the dollar store and I got a whiteboard blank and stencils, and I made a sign. And then Tom CPU out there with a flag and everybody signing it. It's unbelievable that these people are fucking like. And every time I'm just around, man, every time I'm just coming around with court TV, man, and then they screw it up. Wrestler's Mom, thank you so much. I was listening while cooking dinner. Thank you for making me laugh and reading the Book of Lies from Tully the Cook. Thank you, Wrestler's Mom. Appreciate it. Oh, Jamie gifted 5 memberships. Heavy Hauler 617, K-Mac, Dana Leonard, A-Rom 26, Diddy. Welcome, guys. And thank you, Jamie. Appreciate that. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a night. You guys are awesome. I had a great time hanging out with you guys as always. You guys are fantastic. Seriously, man. Like, I absolutely love this community. You guys are the best. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for subscribing. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for hitting the like on this video. If you have not done that already, please do that. I would really appreciate it. And thank you guys for all the support. You guys are so generous and so kind. It means the world to me. Just you guys being here. So, really, it really does. Guys, I love you very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.